Today's video will focus on Teen Gohan Fighter's response video towards Michael Somer's statement about Cartoon Rewind. Yes, I am aware of the whole drama with Gohan about less than a year ago regarding Blazin' Rants and the others involved with said drama. However, my response does not in any way relate to that whole situation and is completely irrelevant with the video in question. With that out of the way, let's start.
But Michael Somer did a commentary on RTP, which I'm not going to get involved in any of that stuff. If RTP wants to do a commentary on Somer, he can do that. That's not why I'm doing this video. I'm doing it for something he said about a good friend of mine here on YouTube, and that's who I'm doing it. And because of his logic on what a one-shot is, which is one interjection, even though he gave 4 points in his alleged one-shot, which Manning already debunked in the dictionary, which dictionaries, I'm sorry, Michael Shorman doesn't lie.
I know I touched on this on my one-shot on RTB, but I will briefly bring up what I said in my response in case you never actually watched my video, which possible chances are you didn't. For starters, yes, Michael did make multiple points on his one-shot response to RTP. However, there's one small little detail you seem to be leaving out. If you actually watch Michael's original one-shot video on RTP, you would see that while making those points towards RTP, he did it all in one cutaway and not more than one cutaway. Because of that on its own, Michael's video was in fact a one-shot. Now I'm going to refer to my one-shot com on RTP to debunk the second part of your argument, as well as elaborating a bit more towards the first half of my argument. Something that you and RTP fail to understand is the fact that when commentators are using the words one-shot in those videos, they're not referring to the literal definition of the term one-shot. The words are used as a phrase to point out that the video is only going to have one actual cutaway towards the topic/video in question, and that's it. Besides, if we were to apply your and RTP's logic towards using the dictionary term of one-shot, aka to achieve in a single attempt or action, that would mean commentaries that exceed 20 to 40 minutes in length would be considered one-shot commentaries because they're all being done in a single attempt. Also, I'd like to also point out that because you're taking the words one-shot out of context, that means that the title of your video is entirely misleading due to the fact that you made 4 actual cutaways in your video, 3 times with the red text, and 1 later on with your actual avatar. So good going.
You know, the Versus series whose 3D animation is so awkward, stiff, and sometimes glitchy to the point where I wonder if it's either bad on purpose or if those guys are just that incompetent. Or both. Oh, and before anyone accuses me of being a Screw Attack fanboy, I won't say Torian's fight animation is perfect by any stretch of the imagination, especially since it sometimes feels off to me, but unlike Cartoon Fight Club, at least with him, I can tell he puts effort in when he does animate a fight scene for Death Battle.
The guy who does those animated fights is Animation Rewind, who, may I add, does a phenomenal job at what he does.
I think the footage Michael presented of the actual animation itself would love to tell you otherwise, but please, go on.
This guy, okay, because I talked to him on Skype. I'm on his research team, and I also do some voice acting skills, or voice acting stuff for him because I'm kind of a beginner and I'm trying to actually learn how to be a better voice actor because I'm not that good. And so, you know, I'm improving and I'm trying, by getting a role, I'm trying to learn how to be better at that. And I want to just say this right now. Michael Somer, have you done animation? Do you know how hard it is? How the hell are you going to trash someone's work when you don't even know really what this guy does?
So basically what you're saying is because he doesn't know the nature of how animation is done or how complicated it is to do animation, he shouldn't complain about or criticize his animation? I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. You don't have to know how animation is done or how difficult it is to do to realize how shitty someone else's animation is. That's like me criticizing a cook's cooking and that person or someone related to that person comes up to me and says, "Do you know how complicated it is to cook food or the process of preparing food?" In that case, you shouldn't be trashing my or said person's cooking. Sorry, Gohan, that's not how the world works.
I'm going to show you a clip of this right here, and this is I can't show you everyone else's names. I'm just going to show you you know, the name of the shows, Cartoon Fight Club, but this is Animation Rewind, who does all the fights, and he flat out said that he has hardly gotten any sleep. You want to know why he hardly has gotten any sleep? Because he does 2 things. He goes to college full time, and he works on his animated fights and also the research as well with us. That's all he does. He has no time to do anything else. You don't even understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's nice and all, but how does that disprove Michael's claim about the animation being extremely poor and awkward to watch? Oh right, it doesn't. What you just said is nothing more than a lousy attempt to justify Cartoon Fight Club's poorly done animation and failing miserably.
You say how he's not trying to get better, yet I talked to him and I've seen some of his older fights, and he is definitely improved in his 3D animation fights. Yeah, he's nowhere near Tori's level, and how the hell would he? Like, that guy is like literally a professional, like, animator. So yeah, he's not gonna be at his level. So if you were expecting Animation Rewind to do something like him, then yeah, you are not going to get that type of fight, but you are still going to get a good animated fight.
He never said nor implied that he was expecting Cartoon Rewind's animation to be just as good as Screw Attack's animation. His point was that compared to Screw Attack's animation, you could tell that there was a good amount of effort being put into the animation, unlike Cartoon Rewind's. I think I'm done here because there's nothing really worth pointing out beyond that point. It's been a little while, hasn't it? Just to keep things short, today I'm going to be doing a quick commentary on CoolBoy Keen's video on Sean Sampson. Enjoy.
In the marmalade forest, between the make-believe trees, in a cottage cheese cottage, lives Albie.
God, your intro music makes me hate One Direction so much.
Okay, this line is not only is for you, but the T-Jesta. Okay, if you guys didn't like his intro, then you could have skipped it. It's not that hard. If you guys didn't like it, then you could have just skipped it.
Okay, we get it. Move on with the show already.
You could have easily pointed out that when Future Blood and TJ Asa made each of their statements about Joseph's intro music, they did it as a joke. But let's just pretend that Future Blood was being serious for a moment, which would also be a fault on Sean's end, because he should have pointed out that Future Blood's complaint was subjective due to his complaint being about the song in the intro. Either way, CoolBoy, you missed the perfect opportunity to debunk Sean's actual argument.
Welcome back to Joey Rants. When I was a kid,
Was that supposed to be a joke, or are you just really unscripted?
He's using a script. In his other videos, like his commentary on the T-Jesta, I can't believe I didn't do a commentary on him on that video. But, Joseph said that he was using a script. You should have listened to the other videos before making this one.
How do you know that he uses a script in this video? Do you got any personal details? Tell us! Please tell us!
Actually, you both missed the point in this regard. Future Blood wasn't questioning whether Joseph was using a script or wasn't. He was questioning if what Joseph said was meant to be a joke or if it was a screw-up in one of his lines. You're making this harder than it's supposed to be, CoolBoy.
Ben is hard. 90s kid from Top the Fourth Wall is a perfect depiction of Ben. I know he's a dead horse, but I do what I want. Ben is a creepy fucko.
Was that supposed to be a joke? If it is, I'm not laughing. Also, you can rant whatever you want on the internet, but you can't rant on a dead horse, because there's every single rant about Ben the Looney. You know? Just saying.
So, why didn't you make this point earlier? If you had made this point earlier, then it would made sense. I mean, you should have made this point when he said, I do not want.
Even though they can also apply to what he just said.
Or maybe it's because Future Blood was ripping on him for that particular part, and it was a delayed response. But this does look past the fact that, once again, CoolBoy, you could have pointed out that Future Blood was rehashing the same argument he made just a short while ago, which for some odd reason flew right over your head.
Top 10 anime women helps prove this fact. He states he finds it sexually attractive when women roughly his age pee, and he calls it the occasional bathroom footage. Also, his censorship rant also has proved this fact when he says if he could, he would make videos of himself naked for sex appeal.
Okay, I will agree with you there. Maybe it's kind of creepy that he made that weird rant about censorship, but here's the thing. If somebody finds us, whatever, women attractive and sexy, they like it, good for them.
No argument? Nor skipping card? Okay.
Then why didn't you skip this part completely? Because what you said not only added nothing to the overall video, but you're dragging out your video longer than necessary. I think that's all I'm going to cover because the rest of it was him turning this into a short-running joke, and I'm not going to bother with that. Final thoughts. CoolBoy, your video could have been a lot more constructive if you had properly analyzed Sean's video a shit ton better than you did here. You missed the point of one of his arguments, and you should have pointed things out that you never did. I know you're trying your best, CoolBoy, but you gotta master your craft if you're ever going to improve your overall quality. Well, I had to make another commentary-related video sooner or later, so here you go. And since Halo Fan has forever ruined the Master Chief, it's only appropriate to, well, not use Master Chief. A little bit of searching around, and Olympia Vale, because she is obviously not Master Chief. So today's commentary will be focused on Mr. Awesome and Mario360's commentary video on Sean Sampson and Halo Fan's co-op on Isaac Johnson. While I don't disagree with everything he brings up, I do want to point out some flaws I found with the video. So, enjoy.
Ooh, that's jazzy, and clearly taken from Bob Commentaries, skipping over the rest of it.
First of all, you got any examples to back up your claim? No? Then how do you expect me or anyone watching your video to take your word for it? Secondly, and I'm going to address two possible scenarios here, mostly because of how you worded your statement. If you were solely talking about the song used in the intro, then you're wrong, because from what I've examined from all the Bop intros before July 23rd, because that's when you uploaded your commentary, not a single one of them used that particular song. To back this up, I'll be posting a link to a playlist they made that contains all their commentaries in the description. Now let's address scenario number 2. If you were talking about the intro as a whole, then you're wrong as well, because once again, from what I looked at, all of the intro formats that were used in the BopCons before July 23rd do not share any kind of significant resemblance to Halo Fan's intro bit. So how exactly is that part of the intro taken from Bop in any way?
One thing about games is that they don't always age well. Such is the case with Metal Gear Solid. What is this game? Well, it's basically a game which says on the box, tactical espionage action. In reality, it's just linear, walk in a straight line.
Really? Walk in a straight line? Is it a 2D platformer? I can recall lots of times where I've had to backtrack.
It's his opinion that the game actually sucks. So there.
So you guys are defending him?
If you're implying that Sean and Halo Fan were White Knight and Gligar, then they weren't. They just thought that Isaac was forcing his opinion on Gligar when he wasn't.
Self-action designed by developers who design
games, so you have to play the game how they want you to. Run, don't try to avoid the enemies who seemingly have super X-ray vision. From the first level, you can tell this game's a piece of garbage, but then again, this game, it's pretty obvious that whoever made this game wasn't trying to go for good gameplay, but then again, it had amazing cutscenes, so people probably overlooked that, but anyways, let's talk about the game itself.
Oh my god, why can't people in the community just skip it instead of speeding it up? That gets really irritating.
I'm sorry, but couldn't you have just skipped over that segment entirely? Would have been more effective and would sound less nitpicky by doing that.
Okay, for starters, what you said didn't refute Sean's argument, and second of all, it's not nitpicky because dragging out parts of a video, especially for as long as Isaac did, is extremely lazy editing because there was no reason why Isaac couldn't have used a skipping card explaining that Gligar was bringing up nothing of substance for him to talk about.
So basically, when you start the game, you get some intro, where you're in generic military base setting number 69420, and you gotta infiltrate some fucking base, and then you gotta do some other shit.
Wow, thank you. You are so informative. Literally describing what I am watching on screen as if I'm blind. No, thank you.
He's just explaining the information to everyone.
And that statement was there why exactly?
Why is your statement here, Halo fan?
So instead of actually debunking Halo fans' argument and explaining why Isaac's statement was there, you're just going to make an unnecessary no you argument? Well, okay, it's your credibility, not mine.
Also, explaining the information, do you even grammar?
And that's considered bad grammar how exactly?
I mean, seriously, don't buy this game unless you're one of those kiddies who is a hipster kid's like, Call of Duty's too stupid, it's the same stuff every year, huh? Or, hey Fagalo, Call of Duty's stupid, huh?
Who talks like that?
Dude, he was making a joke.
A very bad one at that.
Again, you're not refuting Sean's argument. You just saying a really bad one at that doesn't change the fact that Isaac took a joke that Gligar made seriously. I think I'll end the video here because there's nothing else of substance I can really bring up. Hey Agumon, guess what?
What is it?
Our old pal Eddy The Scammer decided to do a response to the people who commentated on him.
Really? Sounds great. Hey, let's commentate on it.
Great idea.
So anyways, about the commentators, they seem to have a problem with me commentating on troll videos. My response to that is, well, I really don't give a crap if the video I've commentated on is a troll video. Because troll video or not, I still believe that the video deserves to be commentated on.
So you're saying that the trolls videos that you commentate on deserve to be talked about, even though that you're pretty much talking to a brick wall that doesn't really care about what you're saying, thus making your video have no substance from the very get-go? Yeah, that sounds pretty logical to me! Now more than likely you'll say something like, well, the stuff that they say hurts people's feelings! Well, it's their fault for taking them so personally in the first place.
Another problem that commentators seem to have with me is that I use generic terms that everybody else has used before. The reason why I say these generic terms is because I just wanted to make my rants at least a little bit funny.
Haven't you stopped to think for a second that unoriginality isn't very funny to a lot of people? Because if a joke or statement has been overused to death by everyone, not many people are going to find it amusing because, number one, they've heard it a million times before, and second, it's not original, and that's what people don't want to see, because being original is a virtue.
Now, before anybody says that I'm just mad at these commentators because they simply just don't like my videos, well, guess what? I really don't care if people commentate on me.
Yeah, sure, you don't care if people commentate on you, even though you disable the comments and ratings on your video.
Sometimes commentators have some good things to point out, and I applaud these people. But there are also these other commentators, like David Wash and Dark Agumon, who doesn't have any videos left in his channel, by the way.
Well, considering that I left my old channel and I went to a new channel, and I have 2 videos on that channel, yeah, that would mean that I don't have any videos on that channel. Yeah, totally.
That do the same thing, although they just slightly make fun of me or treat me like an idiot for not knowing that the video I commentated on was a troll video.
The reason why, and I'll use David for my explanation because Agumon's video is gone as of this recording, did that is because it's a little thing called common sense, because most people can tell just by the way these people or trolls you've commentated on go about themselves in their videos is so blown out of proportion that it's something that you can just laugh at instead of getting pissed off at like you did. Plus, I don't see why you're so concerned that he, quote, treated you like an idiot, because he was implying that you were acting like one, not that you were one in general, because I'm pretty sure David thinks you're a lot smarter than how you portray yourself in your rant/commentaries.
Well, folks, we reached the end of the video.
Oh boy, Jacob made a new video. I'll give it a chance.
Later.
Hey Henry, I heard you needed help.
You're just what I needed!
Okay, I guess we're all set.
Wait, how do you know what video we're commentating on?
Bitch, I know everything.
Okay.
You can't defeat me. I'm the great and almighty Silver. I'd like to see anyone beat me. Nope, I quit. I'm done. I quit. Goodbye.
Okay, this is the first of many pointless or unfunny jokes in the video. I mean, I understand wanting to put humor in your video. However, when it's this, it's always a good idea to make sure your jokes don't come off as forced.
So with Five Nights at Freddy's 3 set to come out this year, I believe it's time I do a review on both Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and Five Nights at Freddy's 2, seeing as I played and beaten both games. So for this video, we are doing a review on the first Five Nights at Freddy's game. It was August 2014, and everything was bad as school was starting up yet again. Until the 8th of that month, where a supposedly creepy game known as Five Nights at Freddy's was released on Steam. And it got a lot of backlash, saying, "Oh my god, this is so creepy!"
I don't think you know what backlash means. If we look at the dictionary, we'll see that backlash means a strong negative reaction by a large number of people, especially a social or political development. Now obviously we're not talking politics here, so I'll look at the first part. On Steam, Five Nights at Freddy's has over 10,000 positive reviews, and only 500 negative ones. So how is this backlash?
So in Five Nights at Freddy's, you're some random guy named Mike Schmidt, who gets a job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza as a night watch security guard. And once you start up this game, you... Whoa! All you do in this game is check cameras that close doors? What kind of game is this? I want shooty shoot games!
Am I the only one getting sick of MLG jokes? I mean, it's 2015. Can we have some original comedy? Oh wait, this is Jacob, and he hasn't got an original bone in his body. I forgot.
Because in case you couldn't tell, this is a horror game.
Okay, look, there's pointing out the obvious and then there's this. It shows how little focus there is in your video when the one of most important pets is telling you what genre the game is.
The horror comes from its tone. It's dark and scary. Also, animatronics come alive or something like that.
The lack of focus is further shown by the fact that he can't even be bothered to talk about the basic concept of the game.
Also, there's this guy on the phone who leaves you messages, and he's a dick! Shut up!
You know, I really thought you would have learned after your 6th commentary that the ear rape jokes aren't funny and are just annoying. I mean, seriously, I know comedy is subjective, but I don't know a single person that likes these kind of jokes.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, the jump scares in this game actually did scare me, and so did the game itself. But after playing it and beating it all together, it's not really scary. But the 4th night, and 5th night, and 6th night, and counting the 20-20-20 mode on the 7th night, is frustrating as all hell! Knowing that if you mess up once, you're screwed. But after hours and hours and hours of playing this game, I finally beat all 7 nights. And overall, this game is actually way better than the eye sees it. And I definitely recommend this game.
Okay, so I'm going to assume you like the first 3 nights, but then go to say that nights 4 through 7 are frustrating and don't seem to say anything positive about them, and your lack of reasonings as to why other aspects of the game are good, aside from it playing on your emotions, also really hurts this review. But like we said multiple times, the lack of focus on anything but jokes really hurts this video.
So I'm Silver and... God damn, I still gotta review the second game.
Hey, can't wait to commentate on that one! In all seriousness, that's where the video ends, so now let's give our final thoughts. Overall, I'd say this review's biggest downfall was its focus. I mean, he basically only really focuses on the jokes and never goes into too much depth with anything else. I mean, that'd be fine if the jokes were funny, but they're not. They're either overdone, annoying rather than funny, or just not very great. There is potential here, however, there is still a lot of improvements needed.
I don't do final thoughts, so get off my lawn before I legally shoot you. Double feature today on Future Blood. You're welcome. You know, you're not really fooling anybody, Future. We all know that you're recording off your computer screen. Also, get used to that picture that you're seeing right now, because that's the only one he uses throughout the entire video.
On Most Hate Stuff and the Uncle Hamill.
Well, congratulations, sir. You just jumped on the bandwagon.
Hello, everybody. This is the Uncle Hammer, back with another commentary. Today, I will be doing a commentary on the Ben Rants video about modern films.
Okay, so here's my first problem with this, video. Okay, first off, you're commentating on a old video, which is Ben's old account, and Ben the Looney's like an overdone subject in the community, so yeah, don't do a commentary on a dead subject.
Very ironic you say that, because for one, the first video you did a one-shot on was 2 months shy from being a 2-year-old video. You did a one-shot on the Most Hated Stuff, who is also a dead subject. And you do a one-shot on Sammy Classic Sonic Fans Stop Denying My Age video, which is over a year old and is irrelevant because, like I stated in my previous commentary, Sammy has a new channel.
Uncle Hamill, the media clip you use is pointless.
You can't say the media clip was pointless because the point of Uncle Hammer using it was to make a joke. Granted, the joke was very generic, but it did have a point being in the video.
Glad that you aren't a part of the system, but you're not proving, you know what I'm gonna say.
I've already stated my part once, and I don't need to state it again.
Oh my god, okay, so I have a problem with this video. Okay?
As if it wasn't already clearly obvious.
Fuck you, asshole text in just because Mom Dave is just skipping through your commentary. Dude, it's not that big of a deal.
Because let's just all forget the fact that Most Hated Stuff actually addressed this in one of his commentaries, that skipping parts of a video in a commentary half-asses the video because you're not commentating on everything in the video. Which we all know is a bullshit point, considering commentators like Half-Boiled Hero, MacBoy Redux, and Dirtbike Redden have addressed this commentary months ago!
Alright guys!
Do you want me to slap you?
I'm gonna tell you guys to stop denying my age! I mean, what the frick? You guys just need to accept that I'm 15 years old, stop denying it. I mean, why would I lie about that?
See? He even just lies to his audience thinking that he's like 15, but he is not 15. He's like 9 or 8 or 10 or whatever age he is born from.
Again, I apologize, but this is once again referring back to my previous commentary, but it does bear repeating. Sammy has delayed puberty. He is going to look and sound younger than usual. Also, if you so say that Sammy isn't 15 years old, then show us proof that he isn't, because unless you do, how can I take your word for it? If the kid says he's 15 years old in the video, then he's 15 unless proven otherwise. Okay, time for video number 2.
Welcome back to Ben Rant. I knew you weren't done. I honestly knew you weren't done ranting on regular show. When you said that you were done ranting on Adventure Time regular show last year, I honestly knew you weren't done. That you were gonna rant on Adventure Time regular show eventually, and...
Okay, Modern Dave, I have nothing against you, but here's something I have with this video. There's one problem. You can take a little bit of criticism if you haven't even paying attention to the goddamn video. Seriously, taking criticism without paying attention, that is just pointless. Okay, all you have to do is just do some research and focus on what Ben is about to do and why is he making another rant on regular show.
Okay, allow me to quickly break this down for you. David has moved on from this a long time ago. He regrets making it. If you actually watched David's video, you would have known that the reason why he made the video in the first place was because Ben rehashed most of the points from his part 1 on his rant on regular show. Yeah, I know, I have issues.
Today I'm going to do a commentary on Meal Maniac, and she did a commentary on Guri Gurlo X's commentary on Ben the Looney. I know that this video is probably about 2 years old, but here's the thing. This commentary hasn't been commentated on yet.
Okay, I have two remarks to make here. One, what do you mean probably? You seriously couldn't have been bothered to look below the original video to see how old it actually was? Because it's actually a 3-year-old video. Also, regarding the whole "it hasn't been covered yet" remark, it still doesn't fucking matter because it's still beyond irrelevant. There's no need in March 2015 to go back and dig something back up that happened back in February 2012. It should be left alone. We should be in drive, not reverse.
Kids say the stupidest things until this guy came.
Why would you know that? Because kids aren't allowed on the internet.
It is a joke.
I mean, I'm 13 years old. So why are you saying kids say the stupidest things until this guy came? How would you know that?
Okay, here's a little Remind 101 for you, Sheen. If you're going to make commentaries, go into your editor or whatever program that you are using and edit out your pauses.
And also, I'm going to skip this intro because it's just as long as X's commentary intros.
Okay, I wanted to talk about this for a short while now, so now I'm going to. Honestly, someone saying that an intro to a video is too long or too short or uncreative really needs to die in the community because whether you find an intro, any of those factors I listed, is subjective. You might hate it, but the person beside you might actually enjoy it.
Welcome back to Ben Salutes.
Oh my fucking god, we're still doing commentaries on Ben? My god, when is this going to end, people? When?
I gotta agree with you there because Ben the Looney commentaries are repetitive. But here's the thing. If you want to be in the commentary community, then get used to it.
But the point is that people should not be making them in the first place. It shouldn't have to be something that she has to get used to.
And when I was a kid, kids acted more mature than adults do now.
Magic's magic! Boo!
The Simpsons. Woo! Yeah, woo!
Get a fucking audio clip.
Just hearing that title alone is enough to make people cheer.
Well, certainly not now.
Hey, it's the guy's opinion. Give him a chance, will ya?
Hey, I'm acting, XD.
Okay, allow me to be brutally honest here. I don't mind people using sarcasm in their commentary videos, but as long as they're done correctly. If you have good comedic timing and you have enough energy into your voice, I think it can be done rather well. But the problem here, Sheen, is that you're as monotone as all fuck, destroying any bit of comedic timing that you might actually have.
Continues to be one of the biggest staples of American culture. So, I'll make a nice salute that gives this amazing show its dues. Get ready to start seeing things in yellow.
You know, fuck originality. All you need is nostalgia critic clips.
Ironic, ain't it?
Okay, how's it ironic? And what did she say that was ironic? Explaining, it is your cute little kitten.
Now enter my second favorite character of the show, Lisa Simpson. Lisa is also a character that doesn't get a lot of praise from fans.
Because she's
I beg to
annoying.
differ. She seems to be the only saint the family has. She has a good heart, is a strict vegetarian, is really intelligent, and she's a Buddhist.
And also a bitch.
You, sir, are a baboon! Yes, you! Baboon, 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 baboon!
I don't think you realize what you're saying.
X, do your research.
I'm sorry, but didn't you say in the beginning of your video that this was going to be a commentary on Mumanic?
Today I'm going to do a commentary on Mumaniac.
Now, I want you guys to guess how many minutes of Sheen's video I have to cut out because he does not say jack shit. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Here's another helpful tip for you, Sheen. If there are long lengths of a video to where you do not have to say anything, cut those parts out of the video, because it not only drags out your video, but it's also boring to sit through, especially when your audience has to wait 2.5 minutes and 3.5 minutes before you make your next interjection. And you know what the worst part about him not saying anything for 3.5 minutes is that the next time that he interjects is his final thoughts. Are you kidding?
That was the end of the video. Overall, I don't like this video. Not only was she barely talking.
Are you? You know what? Screw it. I'm done. Not in the mood to give an introduction for this one. I just want to get right into it.
I'm a dick.
So, what was the point of that joke? All you did was show one of your emails, and then you're saying that you're a D. Just why did you use that joke?
Alright, allow me to explain the context of the joke to you. Rhino said he was a dick while showing our Skype conversation because he told me not to screw up my two-shot video on him or else he had 3 new avatars to test out and he was in the mood to making a short video response instead of just leaving it as a comment, which most commentators would most likely do. There you go.
And also, you didn't even give out an introduction.
Commentary users are not always going to put introductions for every video they produce. Plus, even then, intros are merely optional, so really you shouldn't be complaining.
Bieber Fanatic 123? You're seriously gonna do a commentary on them?
Orbit, no, please, stop. Generic, words, hurt, brain. I mean, I don't know about you, but whenever somebody goes,
seriously, why are you doing a video on this guy?
All I can think is, I feel like I've heard this before from almost every commentator ever.
Ahem.
I mean, I don't mean to be Mr. Cliché here, but pay attention.
Here's the first issue I have. Rhino gets on Orbit's case for saying something generic, and yet in the same video, uses a cliché. Now, let's break down the words generic and cliché for a second. When someone refers to something as generic, they usually mean something that lacks originality. When someone refers to something as cliché, they usually mean a stereotypical expression or opinion that has been overused to the point where it lacks originality. Why am I making this point, you may ask? Because Rhino is sitting there calling Sonic Orbit unoriginal when he's practically being just as unoriginal using that commentary cliché.
One, my main criticism was mostly on the card itself of why are you doing a commentary on this guy, and how the wording of the already generic term was worded even more generically. I mean, clichés can still be done right. If Orbit would have worded his statement to be less, I don't know, everybody else-ish, then I would have let it slide. 2, pay attention, in my opinion, is a way less annoying and overused cliche as the generic term and the wording of, you're seriously doing a commentary on this guy. 3, and this kind of goes back to the admitting that I was making a cliche, but it's time for English class. Joke. Noun. Something said or done to cause laughter. A brief story with a surprising and funny ending, and or someone or something that is not worth taking seriously. Any questions?
Actually, that does make you a hypocrite because you get on Orbit for saying something generic, and yet in the same video you use something cliche. Just like what Blue Flame said, that does make you a hypocrite.
How in the hell is paraphrasing what I said in the original video debunk Rhino's argument when Rhino proved that my original argument wasn't valid to begin with?
Okay, so let me play the song Comfortably Numb. So there is proof on where you were wrong, okay?
Because we really needed to hear a clip of Comfortably Numb for us to know that Pink Floyd did not in fact steal lyrics from Justin Bieber, an artist who wasn't even born when Comfortably Numb was written and released.
Yes, debating 101, kids. If the opposer makes a valid point, make fun of them for it.
When did Sonic Orbit ever once in that statement make fun of SMFA fans' point? Orbit was simply implying that he didn't need to provide proof that Pink Floyd was ripping off Justin Bieber because the song was released long before Bieber was born. Also, the point you were making with that media clip from Hero's commentary on TJ Asa wasn't a very valid point to make because while TJ Asa did in fact make fun of Eddy The Scammer for making a valid point, Orbit never came off, or at least from what I saw, making fun of SMFA fans' point. Just watch.
Opinions are a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. Not something that should be changed into a fact.
I made a point. Because we really needed to hear a clip of Comfortably Numb for us to know that Pink Floyd did not in fact steal lyrics from Justin Bieber, an artist who wasn't even born when Comfortably Numb was written and released.
See how the two don't match in the slightest?
Yeah, you're right. It's not the same at all. It's not like they both made a borderline sarcastic statement towards the opposer, despite the fact the point that they made is in fact valid, and because it was said in a borderline sarcastic manner, that could be classified to an extent as making fun of the person. And if that isn't taken as an answer, then the actual point of my argument will. As the main point of my argument was that Orbit made an argument towards a valid point that did prove Beaver Fanatic's point wrong, but he didn't prove the point wrong in the same way as Orbit wanted him to. Which is why I placed the clip in there, because even if Orbit wasn't making fun of him in a sense, he still pretty much got onto him for something that was, in the long run, stupid.
I do have to agree with Blue Flame here, because Sonic Orbit wasn't making fun of Esme fans' point. And even if it sounded sarcastic, he was still making a valid point.
As the main point of my argument was that Orbit made an argument towards a valid point that did prove Beer Fanatic's point wrong, but he didn't prove the point wrong in the same way as Orbit wanted him to. Which is why I placed the clip in there. Because even if Orbit wasn't making fun of him in a sense, he still pretty much got onto him for something that was, in the long run, stupid.
The fuck is wrong with you, Sean? And why do you put so little effort into making your commentaries? Your commentaries are the bare definition of sloppy. Your audio sucks, you make long unnecessary pauses, you sometimes go long periods of time where you say absolutely nothing and pad out your videos. Your arguments are easily debunkable when they actually make any bit of sense, like what happened here, and you never make any actual attempts to ever engage your audience to keep them watching, which is an issue for you because a good portion of your commentaries extend 2 to 4 times the length of the one you made here. Clean up your act, Sean. You have to at least make somewhat of an attempt to improve your content. Someone decided to once again make another response to Flippy. Joy! Also, quick disclaimer before we begin, no, I'm not going to cover everything in the commentary, just the parts I'd like to cover.
Tonight's commentary is going to be on another mediocre commentator, the name in question being Mr. Flipper Invader 782. I originally had intended to do a commentary on Mr. Sir Raven's 2012 Foxstar commentary. As much as I want to do so, I don't want any hypocrisy on my behalf where I beat the dead horse like he does. Though all you need to know is that, well, that commentary sucked. However, I'm going to do a commentary of his more recent commentary on Bourg Productions' AVGN parody.
Even if you are tackling one of Flippy's more recent commentaries, that kind of ignores the fact that Flippy hasn't been relevant in the CC for about 7 months now and has been exposed as someone who only makes these kind of videos to get attention so people will give him views and leave comments on his videos.
Hello fans of the video game industry, I am the Calm Video Game Nerd.
Okay, first problem. The Calm Video Game Nerd. Looks like somebody's trying to latch off of AVGN success, I see.
No. Nope. We're not starting this commentary off by saying first problem with this video. That phrase is lazy, tiresome, cliched, and redundant as hell. I know it's an irony statement and I contradict myself there because I remember saying that phrase, but that was back in 2011 through 13, back when the phrase was somewhat new. Now everybody says that fucking shit, even in 2015. What, you think saying first problem with this video is gonna set the world on fire? I don't think so. No one does either.
Keep this in mind. This will come up very soon.
I am the complete opposite of the angry video game nerd.
Nah, really?
And have a...
Okay, I just want to point this out now because this issue persists through the whole commentary. First off, you literally flash your text on the screen for barely a second. This is a problem because why should I have to stop your video just so I can fully read out your text? The only time where it's okay to do that is when you're only posting like a single or a few words on the screen. That is lazy editing and you need to fix that. Secondly, and this issue appears in a few parts of your commentary, make sure I can actually read the text. There were times where I was trying to read your text in the original video, and it looked like the text was blending in the background of Flippy's commentary, making it hard to read out. Either use a different color, a different text font, or use something like a watermark to make the text stand out more.
Different variation of the happy video game nerd.
The only variation being I am a lot more fatter than him.
Like I said in one of my last statements, that's a problem because...
TVB, that was obviously a joke. He didn't have a problem with anything.
So the objective here is to review the common games.
Okay, allow me to actually address your text right here. Flippy's video converter and editing skills are neither an issue here at all. The reason why Flippy upped the pitch of Bourg's video was because he didn't want that particular part of Bourg's video to drag out too long and pad out the runtime of his commentary. And it's completely okay to do this, just as long as I can still understand what the opposing user is still saying, which in this case, I still can.
The controls here are much better than what?
Basically, you don't have to use much in the line of controls because the objective of this game is simply move the balloon around with the cursor.
You know that'd be good information if only that loud ear-piercing beeping noise didn't completely drown your speaking voice.
Hey, Mr. Flipper, dude, can I explain to you something? Said beeping noise was from, I don't know, the actual game itself. Also, yeah, like your speaking voice is better. I mean, for Christ's sake, for Christ's sake,
First off, thank you, Captain Obvious. I'm pretty sure anyone who watches Flippy or Bourg's video can point out the noises coming from the television. Secondly, Flippy's complaint wasn't addressing Bourg's speaking voice. He was addressing how the volume of the TV was drowning out his voice. Third point, TVB, I hope you do realize that the whole stuttering joke bit when pointing out someone stuttering is very overdone, and commentators like yourself should have stopped using it a while ago. And completely forgetting for a second that the joke is overdone, why did you point out his stuttering in this part of the video? Flippy stutters even more in his commentary even past this part of the video, so you should have pointed it out then so you didn't come off as nitpicking and ended up repeating the same damn joke when that part of the video came up. Last thing I wanted to also point out was when I told you guys to keep in mind the part where we got on Flippy's case for using a commentary cliche around the beginning of the video, because here you yourself used a commentary cliche as well using the stuttering joke. That kind of makes you come off as a hypocrite there, pal.
What happens when you get caught. Real simple. You go into a bubble and you fly into the air and you've got to try all over again.
I know he's trying to sound informative by showing what happens when you die, but really, is that something that we really need to see in the video games? Do people play Resident Evil 4 or Sonic 06 and go, hey, this is what happens when you die? Or do they play Super Mario Bros. Or Super Mario Galaxy and they go, oh, this is what happens when you dies? Unless you're a friggin' masochist or whatever that likes watching video game deaths, I don't see the point of bringing this information up.
Wait, so when Bourg Productions reviews a game, it's a federal crime to have his character killed while playing said game. Yet when other video game reviewers like James Rolfe, Armake21, Urinating Tree, Irate Gamer, and so on review games and they kill off their characters while playing, that gives them a free get-out-of-jail card, right?
Considering that Flippy has actually made a commentary on AVGN before, I think it's safe to assume that he would have an issue with James doing that. Today's commentary is on Cooleo Swagge's video on Michelle Brock's Nickelodeon rant. So, let's begin.
I am doing a ranty review on Nickelodeon.
Oh, it's like we never heard this before. Oh, wait.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you're implying that the topic he's ranting about has been overdone to death. Well, here's the thing. Just because something has been overdone, that doesn't mean the person in question can't bring up new things that haven't been brought up yet.
The first network for kids, and that's pretty much it. The first network for kids.
Alright, so you're basically using your iPad for the rant. Are you serious? Dude, you're using your iPad to do your rant. Are you serious?
You know, I wouldn't mind you bringing this up, if only you didn't drag out your statement longer than necessary.
Now, Nickelodeon used to have a wide variety of shows, ranging from a young boy who gets fairies is being chased by his middle-aged 5th grade teacher.
Wow, that was like wasting it. Oh my god, you wasted at least 5 seconds of my life. And have you ever heard of editing?
Well, if he's quote-unquote wasting your time, then why did you bother interjecting in the first place? And second of all, I love how you say he needs to edit his videos when it's quite obvious you didn't edit your video as well, because throughout the video you keep repeating the same points over and over, you pause and stutter like he does, and have unnecessary background noise as well, hell, even worse than the kids video that you're ranting on. Oh yeah, you totally don't need to edit your video at all.
Or a little alien trying to conquer Earth but is being chased by a paranormal studied kid.
I bet this kid is gonna make a ton of mistakes in this rant. Have you ever heard of rehearsing? Have you ever heard of redoing? Like, at least redo your video. Like, with me, I redo some voices that I do for my commentary. Because I make mistakes, especially the Eddy rant that I got commentated on. But still, at least rehearse or something. My God.
Which pretty much translates to,
have you ever heard of editing?
yeah, nice job repeating what you already said.
With weird hair. Or a sea sponge who has a boss which is a crab, a friend which is a starfish, and a neighbor which is a...
Oh my God. Do you think we're stupid? Do you think we don't know the characters of SpongeBob? Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you really think that we're stupid? This rant was released August 9th, 2014. So basically, people already know SpongeBob because they have this thing called reruns. I think you haven't heard of it, but it's something that you rerun a show from the past.
First of all, yes, everybody knows SpongeBob from watching the show's reruns. Also, I love how you get on his case for pointing out the obvious, when you yourself pointed out the obvious by explaining to us what a rerun is. What a fucking hypocrite.
Which is a squid, which is an octopus, however it is. And there's also many others like CatDog, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Hey Arnold, Doug, Rugrats, Rocco's Modern Life, The Wild Thornberries, Ren and Stimpy, the Real Monsters, Kablam, Danny Phantom.
I facepalmed at least 2 times in a row when I heard that. Are you serious? You're naming all the Nicktoons cartoons. I know he's supposed to make a point, but seriously, at least say Rocco's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, Rugrats, and even more. At least say even more than instead saying everything. Like, you're saying every single Nicktoons, which might even take up half of the Nicktoons rant.
I'm sorry, but don't you also drag out your statements as well?
And also, these shows were not in your age. Unless you're at least 15, which I'm pretty shocked after I saw Sammy. Oh my God! Dude! These came out before you, and you're taking this too long. At least end.
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that he isn't 15. So just because he wasn't aware about the show then, he can't be aware about them now? Would you care to explain why that is?
The Chalk Zone, the Avatar, and Ginger. Yeah, they had many good shows back then. But now, as I look at it, Nickelodeon is not owned. And they have canceled all of these good shows, except for Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob, thank goodness. But Invader Zim was left off the screen, which is just terrible. Sorry for that noise, that's Otis licking me.
Why do we want to hear that exactly?
And why do we want to hear you nitpick exactly?
And also, Nickelodeon changed its logo. I love it. I just love it so much.
Alright, to be fair, He can like his own logo. That's the point. But if you explain why you like the logo, I'll pass.
Yeah, maybe you should let the kid finish before you said all that.
Don't you think that looks fantastic? And yes, that's sarcasm.
How is that fantastic?
See what I mean? The kid was being sarcastic, therefore making your argument how he should explain why he likes the logo pretty much pointless. I'm now going to skip about 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the video because this kid pretty much repeats the same shit he already said, and I don't want to add length to the video.
At least the Gibby show might be coming out pretty soon.
Oh god, the horror!
I personally hate TMNT.
Oh, hello, fanboys of TMNT. I want you to go to his house and, like, kind of bug him because he said something you're not gonna like. My god. Really? You really had to say that, because if you do, there's gonna be a ton of people saying that, they're gonna kill you and stuff. Like, that is pretty, bad to say, especially TMNT fans that grew up in the 80s or 90s.
And that's his fault, Hal? Don't blame him just because the Ninja Turtles fans can't respect people's opinions. Or at least that's what you claim how they act.
Think that people have really bad taste if they hate Sanjay Craig because it's such a great show because it has gross out humor.
No. The reason why it's like people like it is because they have interesting stuff in it. It's not because of the gross out humor. No. It's just for the interesting stories, interesting characters that they might like. Anyone could have an opinion. I agree. But people like it just because of the gross out humor? Are you serious?
Yeah, because it's the show's main trait that makes it stand out from everything else the show offers. Hell, why do you think, and I apologize because these shows aren't Nickelodeon related, but like shows like The Three Stooges and Eddy were popular because of its slapstick humor, and the same can be said for Sanjay and Craig as the show has its own unique traits. Hey everyone, Blue Flame here with a new commentary video, and it's on Cooleo Swagge again. So who exactly did Cooleo Swagge do a commentary on? Yes, for those who are wondering, GurryGirlOX is a troll and loves ticking off the Nintendo fans / fanboys, and this video is no exception. Now, I'm going to use a trick Dr. Turfy did with his commentary on Alpha Wolf, and place a picture on the left-hand side of the screen, so I'm not repeating the troll argument over and over. Well, folks, enjoy.
Alright, so am I the only person in the world who doesn't give a fuck about Super Smash Bros. On 3DS and Wii U?
Yes!
Well, considering we live in a world with well over 7 billion people, and the fact that you can pretty much guarantee that there's someone other than GurryGirlOX that could give two shits about Smash Brothers, I'm going to call bullshit.
I really want someone that would agree with me on this.
Well, you'll never get an agreement because people fell in love with the first Super Smash Bros. Game, so I believe nobody will believe you on this or agree.
Or maybe, perhaps, the people who didn't like the Smash Bros. Games to begin with.
Especially since the Smash series in general has remained unchanged since the first game on the N64.
Okay, I kind of agree with you 1%, but the 99% says that it's different with different kind of consoles. Like there's one Smash game per console. Like, for example, N64, GameCube, and now the Wii, and now the Wii U and 3DS. So 5 incarnations, not counting like Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, even though that they're the same game. Not saying that they're same game, but they're just different every time. Like, they add new power-ups and new characters.
Okay, 2 things here. First off, just because you make an improved version of an already pre-existing game on a stronger console, that does not mean it can't be a clone of the previous one. Second, you can add all the new characters and power-ups you want, but does it really change the fact that the fighting style has pretty much stayed the same since the first game was released?
Honestly, guys, that is one of the fucking reasons I never gave a fuck about Super Smash Bros.
Then you're a prick.
So he's a prick for giving his opinion about the series. and yet it's okay for you to give your opinion about the series. Double standard, my name is Cooleo Swagge.
Because it's the same shit each game, and none of the games in the series has ever required any skill that a good fighting game like Street Fighter or whatever.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm leaving the room right now. I'm done.
Hello people, instead of trying to refute his argument, I'm going to show you my piss poor attempt at humor. La 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 la.
Required. Super Smash Bros. Is pretty much the kiddie pool of the fucking fighting game genre.
It's not the kiddie. Super Smash Bros. Is not the kiddie pool. Have you seen indie games about fighting games? They're just very, very, very bad. Like, I tried most of them. Most of them are terrible. Trust me, if you go to addictinggames.com, you'll find terrible fighting games.
He never implied that the Smash Brothers series was bad in the aspect that it's in the kiddie pool genre. He's saying that it's in the kiddie pool genre in the aspect that it's too easy and requires no skill like other fighting games. Anyway, folks, I'm going to be skipping ahead a little bit. Now, to make sure that you guys aren't left clueless, here's some context of what you missed. Girly Girl X said that Super Smash Bros. Gets all the hype, and he doesn't understand why. And he says that any game that pretty much comes out nowadays gets hype in some sort of way.
Or hell, pretty much any, right now, pretty much any game, period.
Okay, not every game, because have you seen Hyrule Warriors? Everyone was being so hyped up about that game. They were like very excited about that game more than Smash Brothers. I know Smash Brothers is a really good game, but sometimes there's other games that want to top it. So basically, it's not the biggest game that everyone's hyped up about.
Okay, 4 things. 1. You do realize you proved him correct by saying people were hyped about Hyrule Warriors, because he said any game nowadays gets hyped, period, which is strange because in the beginning of your statement, you said not every game gets hyped considering Hyrule Warriors was by Legend of Zelda fans and fans of Dynasty Warriors. 2. You're seriously going to say that people were more hyped about Hyrule Warriors than Smash Brothers? Then how do you explain Hyrule Warriors selling only 69,000 copies in Japan when it was released, and Smash Bros. On 3DS selling over 1 million copies in Japan when it was released? 3. Saying Smash Bros. Is a good game is only your opinion. 4. May I suggest you using a script, because this is the second time that I've heard you majorly stutter while trying to say something.
You know guys, I've seen games like Destiny, Titanfall, and Watch Dogs come out, and everyone hates on them, yet
Okay, two reasons. 1, most of the people who are hating on them is little kids because they're not allowed to play those games.
You know, I might have actually believed what you said if you actually bothered to show evidence to back up your claim.
But they're allowed to like Nintendo because Nintendo's for everybody. And second of all, where did you find those Watch Dogs, Titanfall, and Destiny haters? I mean, seriously, I can find no people that hate those games.
Then you, sir, didn't look hard enough, because I actually did a quick YouTube search and found at least one review for each of those games getting negatively talked about.
And Nintendo being the worthless pile of shit company that they are.
I've seen worse.
Like who? List examples, or else the people who are watching your video are going to be making generalizations like Microsoft or Sony.
Ugh. That was a terrible, terrible ride. I don't even want to ride again! And you know what? Go buy those games! I don't care. Like, just buy it because wanna know why? Don't listen to him!
Which is funny because you should have done the same thing. So today I'm doing a brief commentary on Spike and Dandy's commentary on Chang Shai Lim's review of the regular show episode, and I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. And yes, I did cut out the intro because I don't want to leave them in, plus the fact Dandy's intro is 30 seconds long. Please shorten it or don't have one at all.
Hey guys, Spike the Space Cowboy here again, and today I'm here to do another commentary. And the video I'm going to commentate on is this little kid who is reviewing a regular show episode titled Take the Cake. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive right in.
Hey guys, what's up? So today I decided to tell you a regular show episode called Take the Cake. The episode takes place in...
Oh my gosh. We have another little kid on the internet doing an episode review. Oh, the irony.
That's not how the term irony works. Irony is the contrast between what is expected from what actually happens. Just because the kid made an episode review of a TV show, that doesn't make the video ironic. Plus, I love how you don't explain why you find it ironic.
Okay. It all started like this. They were going to make a birthday, we were going to get a birthday cake for Mailer, the owner and CEO of the park. So yeah, he wanted to do is send the best birthday cake of all time.
Why are you drinking water during a review? Just why? There is this little thing called editing. Editing? What's that?
Wait, where have I heard this before?
Editing? What's that?
Ripping off commentaries is fun, isn't it? Also, I don't see how him drinking for a second bothers you so much. It's a nitpick at best.
That was water, by the way.
Kid, I'm pretty sure no one cares.
Assumptions are great, aren't they?
Sorry, I'm not showing on camera, by the way. So, yeah. And then after that, they go here, there, go over there, drive. Yeah, anyways, after the pre-cake, before the pre-cake, and then the lady don't know how to read, and then they'll go eat the cake, and then go over there. There's a fake cake over there, here, there, and then Mark, and then Ali, and then CJ! We're there. I keep getting mad of CJ much, so if you're watching this and you're a love fan of CJ, I'm sorry, but I really hate CJ that much, okay?
All I'm hearing is a bunch of retardness, and I'm gonna skip some parts, so yeah, brace yourselves for some skipping.
So you're not going to explain why what he said was retarded? Please don't be so vague.
Was party, then you teleported back and said, surprise! And then, and then you got hired. Then you got a call, and then...
I'm sorry, guys, but that was so retarded.
So once again, instead of making a solid argument, you're just going to say, oh, that's just so retarded. Please bring up new things. This is starting to get a bit stale.
Okay. Then it was 3 weeks later when he woke up and he was having a best birthday present and said, where am I? And then he said, you're in the hospital. You're going to go home for 3 weeks. Then they have a coma. Then everyone left, except for Mordecai, Rigby, and Benson. Well, the episode I will give it is kind of like I'll say 5 out of 10.
I have nothing else to say, so I'm just gonna end the video here.
What? Are you fucking serious? You played out the video for 25 seconds just to say you have nothing else to say? That was completely unnecessary, you little ass. Oh, and I love how you say you should edit his videos, when you should have cut out that entire part of the video completely. Hypocrite. So today, I wanted to tackle Spike and Dandy's secret middle school tour commentary. Yes, I know Evan Yigi and Dark Agumon did a co-op on this, but hey, I figured I'd give my own critiquing of the video. Besides, it was either this or nothing. Also, I know the description of the video says that this was a joke video, but the fact that it says that he was desperate for material, that raises the red flag that he was serious about the video at first, but suddenly realized that maybe the video wouldn't be received well and decided to add that so he wouldn't take the blame for it. Sorry, Dandy, I don't buy that.
Hey guys, it's Ben 1010ish here, back at you with another commentary.
Okay, I forgot to point this out in my last video on him, but I couldn't help to notice the unnecessary watermark in the middle of the screen. You know, Dandy, if you wanted to avoid this, you could have either downloaded the video or just recorded the screen of the video like I do with your video editing software.
And the video I'm going to commentate on is pretty old, but I don't really care, so...
Well, what if everyone has already brought up everything wrong with the user's video? What if the drama with the video ended, making the user a dead topic? Quite honestly, I think you should care.
Yeah, this is going to be a two-part commentary, so yeah, the video we're going to commentate on is this kid who is giving a tour of his middle school.
So you're doing a commentary on a vlog. Why target that? Because all the kid is doing is secretly giving everybody a background of his school.
So yeah, without further ado, let's dive right in.
Okay, what's up? It is the 22nd of January 2009.
Seriously? You're commentating on a 5-year-old video? Oh, you son of a...
And today on Trees Give a Shade, hi Jack. Remember him? He's been in most of our videos. This will be a day in school. This is totally secret, and I'm gonna put it in my little jacket pocket and sneak it out.
Well, kid, you're making a bold move, and hopefully it doesn't fall out of your jacket pocket.
And the point of saying that was exactly? I'm serious, like, how does saying that debunk anything what he said?
All my classes, and at lunches, and then after school and PE. So you'll be in for a treat. So this is the day at Hope Elementary School for a 6th grader. Oh, by the way, we're riding the bus right now. Bus number 119.
Who cares? Skip!
Well, obviously the kid cares, and possibly a certain majority of people watching his video might care. You should really take that into consideration.
Alright, what's up? We're in homeroom class. Mr. Itis, F113, and this Jack sits beside me in homeroom.
May I interrupt?
Why would you ask if it's okay to stop the flow of the video? It's not like anyone's preventing you from doing so.
You shouldn't really be doing this. I think this is a bad idea. And you should be paying attention.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't the kid say he was in homeroom?
We're in homeroom class.
His classes haven't even started yet. Calm your tits, madam.
It's Jack. I can't see him, so that's it. I can't film him. Okay, so now we're in homeroom, Mr. Itis class F113. And we are... Jack's messing with the stapler. Okay, so now we're in our science class. That's my favorite writing kids.
Ha. I hope your teacher doesn't see you doing that, even though you said at the beginning it was secret and nobody knows. But you're introducing your flipping friends to the audience. Everybody knows.
Why should it matter whether or not he introduces his friends? Hell, as long as the teacher or someone in authority doesn't notice, he should be fine. And what do you mean by everybody knows? There was only one other kid besides the kid recording in that take.
And it's second period, and it's about 9, 10, 9:15. Okay, bye. So now we're going to shoot this video.
Wow, I just made a pointless transition.
I find that very ironic considering you pointlessly stopped the video to point out something unimportant to your viewers. Also, didn't it seem like the kid made that transaction to, oh, I don't know, make a joke?
We're at language arts class, 3rd period. It's 9:35, 9:36. There's Clay.
Again, you said this was secret, and you're still introducing your friends. Keep a promise.
You know, not repeating points in commentaries is a virtue, my friend.
There's Jordan. Hey. And there's Ryan Staff. He was in Earth Science too. I just didn't get good. I couldn't do that because it's too quiet in there. It would have heard the camera beep and everything. So we're gonna do some language arts stuff. Jeez.
I just put my camera out in the open where everybody could see it.
Yeah, I don't really buy that because if you were to go back and watch that clip again, there was only one kid that noticed the camera. Why are you getting this idea that everybody noticed the camera?
We're doing social studies. It is about 11:05. 11:05. No, it's like 10. I don't know. It's like 11:05. And we're doing social studies. There's Jack's drawing. There's my drawing.
Wow, those drawings look retarded.
That's only your opinion. So I'm just going to end the video because he repeats the I just put my camera out in the open again argument. Sonic 06, that is all.
Sonic the Hedgehog for the PlayStation 3. I'm not here to talk about the game. I'm here to rant about it.
And yet, what are you doing this entire rant? Talking about the game.
First of all, why does this game have so many glitches and stuff? I'm serious. I always keep seeing glitches in this game.
Well, there are 3 good reasons I could think of as to why Sonic 06 had a lot of glitches. First of all, the game was rushed because the developers had to meet a certain deadline to have the game out before Christmas, and it was quite obvious that they needed more time because the game still had those issues when it was released. Number 2, they had a lot smaller development team working on it because at the time they were developing Sonic and the Secret Rings as well. So they had a lot less people working on the game, making the process of getting everything done a lot more complicated. Number 3, because they tried to add all these additional extras into the game like town missions, a hard mode, and a large cast of characters, and etc., which caused the team to run out of time to work on those things that they needed to fix, for example, the glitches.
Oh, you obviously noticed that I put Sonic Adventure 3 instead of Sonic the Hedgehog. I put that there because I was just trying to prank someone, but I decided to end the prank.
And how that's even relevant to the rant is something I question.
First of all, the game, let's talk about the game glitches in this game. Now, I know a lot of people have seen the glitches, but the control is too precise. You thought Superman 64 on the N64 was too precise, then wait until you play this game.
And the game having precise controls is considered a glitch how exactly?
First of all, when I hit the wall, I was trying to go up, and then I came to a complete halt, and I was defying gravity. Why would I need to defy gravity in a video game? It's a pointless gimmick and completely unnecessary.
That's not a gimmick at all, actually, and you want to know why? Because that's a glitch that was never fixed. And this is coming from a guy who's actually played Sonic 06 and watched many reviews of it.
God, look at the back. It says speed won't be enough. Yeah, it sure won't. You can play Sonic, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Silver the Hedgehog. Why did they do this?
Please refer to my second point in the video as I don't need to repeat myself.
I hope that they probably try to do this again. With Sonic the Hedgehog 2, they'll probably try to do that.
Okay, this next point I'm about to make contains spoilers, so if you don't want to hear this because you want to see the ending for yourself, then do what you gotta do. Okay, so the cutscene after the final boss of Sonic 06 explains that if Elise were to blow out the candle keeping Solaris alive, then all the events that transpired during the actual game would have never happened. Meaning that the writers knew the game was going to bomb because it was unfinished and decided to do that so the game wouldn't be canon. So how are you going to say that Sonic Team / Sega would do the same thing if they were to make a Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which by the way would never happen, just to repeat the same mistakes they made with this game and make sure that it's not canon once again? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And by the way, his next statement further proves my point.
I haven't even got close to beating it.
Exactly. Oh, Matt Games, you never cease to amaze me, do you? Now, I'm going to state this again because apparently he didn't get the memo the last time, considering he didn't take my criticism very well. This commentary is not meant to harass or bully you, and is just meant for criticism. Harassment and criticism are two completely different things, and criticism falls under fair use, so trying to flag down my video would mean you would be breaking YouTube's community guidelines for false flagging my video.
Hey everyone, I'm MattGames456, and today this is not an actual episode of Matt Rants, but instead this is actually a YouTube rant. Yeah, this is a YouTube rant, and it's not going to be a series or anything like that, but it's just something new, you know? And the person I am ranting on is Sammy, classic Sonic fan.
The chances of everyone on YouTube no longer making commentaries and rants on Sammy are as slim as mankind building a time machine. It will never happen.
If you don't know him, he's a YouTuber who does not YouTube anymore. He hasn't made a video in like a year.
Actually, his last video was 4 months ago. Now, if you're going to tell me, well, I didn't know he had a new channel. Well, in this case, that's not a very valid excuse, considering his new channel is only slightly below his old channel. Are you really that unobservant?
Some of his videos are good, and some of his videos are kinda weird. He makes weird videos, and he has like a weird voice. But his voice sounds weird. He sounds like a girl or something, I don't know.
Well, he does have delayed puberty, and that could be a big reason why. Also, if you look at his newer videos, which you so obviously didn't, his voice has actually deepened dramatically. Links will be provided to his newer videos in the description.
If Sammy Classic Sonic fan is watching this,
even though he's probably got better things to do than to watch your crappy-ass video,
I have a message for you in 2 parts. Yeah, 2 parts. The first part Can you please make a new video?
I highly doubt he will upload anything on his older channel because, for one, he has a newer channel, and plus, when you look at the content he's producing now, he's moved on from his videos where he acts all irate. Granted, his newer channel is also a bit inactive in the video department, but you have to consider maybe he's busy in real life, maybe he's losing interest in making videos, and maybe something bad happened to him. You see where I'm getting at?
The second part. Can you please, like, make it just, I don't know. If any of you guys know him, can you just send on this message to him? Like, give him this message, because I want him to come back, and it's kinda weird how he gone away for a whole year. Well, actually, it's technically 2 years.
How? And I'm not kidding you guys, that's basically the rest of the video along with him repeating points. So yeah, leave my site, you peasants. So about a day ago, a guy named SomeGuy287 made a rant of Sammy Classic Sonic fan. Now, this is not going to be a commentary, but what this will be is a quick rant about this guy's video. Okay, so basically the background of the video is that some guy did a 2-minute rant about Sammy's overall behavior on YouTube and basically calls out his parents or whoever takes care of Sammy and basically says that they need to get Sammy to stop yelling and screaming like a little kid on the internet and get him help or get him to be more social to people around him and meet new people. Now, what's so pathetic about this whole rant this guy did is that this whole situation with Sammy throwing a tantrum in his videos is completely irrelevant at this point. And I'm not just pulling this out of my ass because the last time Sammy made a video where he threw a fit was 7 months ago on this old channel. Even if the video was more recent, it still would have been a dead subject because not only has he been talked about to death, but a lot of people, including myself, can easily point out the way Sammy acts in his videos is not only not to be taken seriously, but it's all a fucking act. Now, what I feel is the real kicker about this whole rant is that on Sammy's newer channel, which is named the same, which surprises me why this guy never actually decided to see if the kid was still active and acting like he was in his older videos, but in a video he made in late June, I happened to come across this little comment that Sammy left because the kid comments a lot basically explaining his behavior on his older videos, and it reads as follows. Yes, the older videos were meant to ignite controversy. That should be fairly obvious, which is a funny statement by the way. I mean, no one's that irate on camera. So the kid himself admitted to the whole throwing a tantrum act to be completely intentional and meant to piss people off. And pissed off you were in this video, which I will put a link in the description below for you guys. It really shocks me how someone with so much credibility as yourself falls for such an obvious troll. So next time before you go ranting about a certain user, make sure the person in question is actually being serious about what they say or do. Okay, rant over. So today I will be commentating on MSP Gothic Angel's video on Dillon the Hacker's video on bronies. Now for those who don't know who Dillon the Hacker is, he's a troll who loves to piss off PewDiePie fans, bronies, and etc. So let's get right into the video. And just to let you know, I will be skipping a lot of parts of this video because I only want to bring up specific things MSP said. Plus considering the fact she repeats the same points a lot in this video.
3, 2, 1.
Listen up, you pony-loving weirdos, because I'm only going to tell you this once. If you are an adult and you like My Little Pony, then you are a loser.
Which is me.
You know, you might want to be careful when structuring your sentences because the way you worded that made it sound like you were calling your own self a loser.
What I think is up with this guy is that he's gone to school and there's like a bigger guy and he's like bullying him, so he comes on YouTube and tries to act like a big shot and all shouty and whatnot and tries to act like he can push us around and whatnot.
Well, you know what they say about assuming.
That makes no sense. What if we don't even go to your school first? This is like resembling to what I said earlier. Maybe there's a bigger bully that's bullying him and stealing his lunch money and whatnot. Can you please get a life?
And this is coming from a person who took a character seriously when it was bloody obvious that he was.
And I'm hearing stuff like, oh, then the hacker has gone. He's been banned from YouTube. He's been banned from Twitter. He's been banned from Facebook and all that thing, and his videos are just up for educational purposes, meaning that if you watch a troll on YouTube that and then you see these videos and you'll see not to do it. Yeah, because he's getting famous, but the wrong type of famous. PewDiePie gets famous because he's good and he's funny. This guy, you see how many people are like laughing at him when he could get loads of people to laugh with him. He could use that good substance of laughter in a good use instead of using it for a bad use.
Okay, two things here. First off, I love how you're self-aware that the way Dillon goes about himself on YouTube is to troll other people, which makes me wonder why you took him seriously in this video. And second, that comparison you made to PewDiePie is pretty weak because there are a large group of people on YouTube, including myself, that actually find trolling very amusing and very entertaining because there are so many ways people can execute it and make it fucking hilarious. Hell, why do you think Dillon got so many subscribers in just a 4-month period? Because he does it very well and he's entertaining. And do you know who else people find entertaining? PewDiePie.
No one. If you like MLP and you're a grown man, please ignore this fool. Just ignore him.
Did anybody notice a sign of irony in that statement? Because he tells men who like My Little Pony to ignore this guy's video when she herself failed to do so.
Because he better like watch his mouth. Like, I'm not even joking now. He has to watch his mouth. He's posting things on the internet for everyone to see. No privacy, nothing, everything to see. So apparently he's just walking on the street, and then bang, a group of people that support PewDiePie are all angry at him. Then boom, a group of bronies that are all angry at him. Then boom.
You know, I highly doubt somebody with a little over 9,000 subscribers would be recognized in public by somebody who's a PewDiePie fan or somebody that's a brony. It's not like the guy has 1 million subscribers and has millions of fans.
And all he's just one person. He doesn't have a fan group. He doesn't have anything. What does he have to defend himself with? What? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, except maybe the 9,000 subscribers that can actually recognize the kid as just joking around and just trying to get a reaction out of people. And this is where I'll end the commentary. And since I really don't do final thoughts, I'll just leave it at that. I'm mostly doing this one shot not only to test out a new avatar I wanted to use, but also because I wanted to produce a filler video before I release my upcoming Q&A video. So today's one-shot topic will be on Roaring Thunder Pursuits' response video towards a comment that a user named Caden Marks left on his response video to a user named Michael Sommer. I know Midnight Anubis made a recent response to his video, but what I'm covering does not in any way correspond to what he said in his response. With that out of the way, let's start.
You acted like a bitch, and for 6 minutes on a one-shot. Oh wait, I am sorry, shots. Then just brought up more reasons why you are wrong. Here is a hint on the name. A one-shot means you only have 1 point to interject. Nothing is plural with one. GG, dipshit. GG. Caden's description of a one-shot is that a person only focuses on one interjection and not multiple interjections. I don't think Caden here knows what a one-shot is. A one-shot is to achieve in a single attempt or action. So by me destroying all of Michael's points in one try within one video, it is considered a one-shot.
Since you blatantly took what Caden said out of context, allow me to explain the fault in what you just said. Notice how Caden said, here is a hint on the name, as in not referring to the literal definition of the term one-shot. If you don't understand where I'm getting at, allow me to explain in greater detail. When commentators put the words one-shot in the title of those specific types of commentaries, they use it as a phrase to indicate to the audience watching that the commentary is only going to present one interjection. I can back this up because there are similar phrases that I know off the top of my head, as well as phrases that commentators have used before that mean the exact same thing. Examples are one and done, let's shoot once, 1, 2, 3 shot, and so forth. In other words, you using the dictionary term of one shot not only doesn't debunk Caden's statement, but also shows you completely missed the point of what he was trying to say to you. Oh goody, another Gligar commentator, ranting on an almost 2-year-old video.
So I was digging out my basement again, and I was trying to find some games to sell at the game store to get some money to buy better games, and I found a game I remember I bought a few years ago. Crash 3. I still remember buying this game because it got good reviews, but then I played it and I'm like, what is this crap? I mean, It was lying in the back room of the game store anyway, where they threw all the random loose PS1 discs, but seriously, it blew. So how bad could the game possibly be? Well,
how bad could it be, man? One of the best, one of the most critically acclaimed PS1 games out there.
You do know that not everybody who plays Crash 3 is going to think of it as a great game, right? I can guarantee you that there's at least one other person other than Gligar who hates Crash 3 and think it's overrated.
So basically, the first thing you'll notice is that this game was published by Sony and made by Naughty Dog. Keep in mind, this game was made by the people who would later go on to make The Last of Us and Uncharted. Kind of bad. I just skipped the cutscene since the voice acting still sucks. But the gameplay is basically a collectathon, just like Super Mario 64, except in a straight line like Sonic. The game features you walking.
Sonic's not in a straight line.
Well then, allow me to show you how valid that statement was.
Sonic's not in a straight line. Sonic's not in a straight line.
In a straight line to the end of the level. Or trying to, but...
Did you seriously just break that box? You're supposed to jump on that box and break the other box and... Your gameplay makes me wanna freaking punch you.
Oh, that didn't sound nitpicky in the slightest.
Avoiding cheap deaths, because as we all know, cheap deaths are amazing. The game features camera, which is basically right in front of you.
That's right, gameplay features camera that's right in front of you. I thought it was behind you.
Was that supposed to be an attempt to make a joke?
All you
because if it was, it failed.
Get through the level without dying during a cheap death. The gameplay is also a ripoff of Super Mario 64. You jump around, you kill enemies, you get an item which protects you for a hit. What does that remind me of? Oh wait, Super Mario. And to get through levels, or to get to them, you jump through a portal system. Doesn't that also remind you of Super Mario 64? Yeah, thought so. The gameplay is just bad. I mean, like I said earlier, we just run through. So let's talk about something else. The graphics look bad. Keep in mind, this is a PS1 game where you had all the attempts at high-resolution textures, and they have these low-resolution excuses for graphics. I mean, these are low-resolution, they look bad, they don't look that great.
It's a PlayStation 1 game, not a Xbox 360 game. And it was designed at a 360p graphics. It wasn't designed for large flat screens.
While I would say somebody judging a game's graphics is opinionated, but quite honestly I can say that there are PS1 games that do look better than Crash 3. For example, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Grand Theft Auto, Gran Turismo, Resident Evil. Need I say more?
And by the way, did I mention that, well, the music is just forgettable stuff? It's nothing impressive, it's nothing memorable.
That's right, you heard him. Nothing memorable about Crash Bandicoot.
But isn't saying a game's music is forgettable is, oh, I don't know, his fucking opinion?
So yeah, there's nothing good in the sound department either. So all in all, this is just a lame Super Mario 64 clone, but it might as well be called Super Linear 64. I mean, Super Mario 64 wasn't that great, and it hasn't...
If you ask me, this game does not look, feel, or play anywhere near like Super Mario 64.
I would argue that from the examples that Gligar has given throughout the video, I would have to attempt to agree with him with the fact that the portal system, the combat system besides the spin, and the Aku Aku mask have some kind of similarities to Mario 64. The only thing I would attempt to agree with is the fact that the game's presentation-wise doesn't look like Mario 64 in the slightest. However, that's forgetting the fact that the guy's a damn troll and shouldn't be taken seriously. And I'm done the commentary. Now, there was one more minute left in Nintendo Wii's video, but he literally says nothing for the rest of the video. But that's if you count the statement where he asked Gligar to show an example of a cheap death, which I didn't want to repeat anything I already said.
Oh great. A commentary on the Gligar 13 vids video. that's almost 2 years old.
Oh goody, another Gligar commentator. Ranting on an almost 2-year-old video.
In a straight line like Sonic. The game features you walking.
Sonic's not in a straight line.
Why'd you say it 4 seconds after he actually said it? Oh, and also...
Well then, allow me to show you how valid that statement was.
Sonic's not in a straight line. Sonic's not in a straight line. Right, gameplay features camera that's right in front of you. I thought it was behind you. Whatever.
If that was a joke, then it failed horribly.
Right, gameplay features camera that's right in front of you. I thought it was behind you.
Was that supposed to be an attempt to make a joke? Because if it was, it failed. Here's some advice, con man. If you're gonna show me a video that was already done by other commentators, then at least bring new points to the table and not steal points from other commentators. I figured that since I'm having a hard time finding commentary material, I might as well make another video on ConMan123. Now, usually I like skipping the intro in my commentaries just to save time. However, this one in particular, I'm glad I did cut out, because all it is 30 seconds of video clips with no real edits to them at all. Most likely, all he did was capture the footage from his PVR and download it to his computer, or he used a video capture and copied the footage from someone else's video, and just put it together piece by piece without changing anything at all. You know, if you're gonna make an intro ConMan123, at least show you actually put effort into making it. Okay, enough of me with the intro, I'm starting the video.
Alright guys, I know y'all guys didn't really get a review out of that, but I'll give you guys like my initial opinions on this freaking game. Sonic Lost World for the 3DS has to be the hardest Sonic game I ever played and the worst game I ever played of all time. Worse than Sonic 06.
So you're saying that just because a game's hard, that automatically makes it shit?
Yeah, let's just forget the fact that after he said it was hard, he said it was the worst game he ever played. And also, yeah, a game can be hard and be considered a shit game by users. And if Silver Surfer doesn't prove that point, I don't know what does.
Please, don't let this kid play anything that was made before he was born.
Huh, funny, because from what I can tell, this kid's at least around the 10 to 12 years old range. But in all seriousness, that joke was so poorly executed. For one, it wasn't funny, and two, I could barely tell you were joking the first time I heard you say that, because your voice is so lifeless, you make David the Ranter sound inspiring.
I got this game used, so everything was completed. I can't even complete some of the missions.
Ah, I love the smell of overused media clips in the morning, don't you? And would you care to explain how he was whining? I mean, he did say that he couldn't complete some of the missions, keyword some. You do realize certain missions can be harder than other missions, right?
But this game sucks. The controls are slippery on some stages. Like you'll be playing and then you jump off and then you slip off. It's really stupid.
You cannot jump off and slip off at the exact same time. The laws of physics do not work like that. Oh, and from what I hear, it sounds like you suck at the game.
Yeah, I hate to break this to you, but that's not a valid argument. Why? Because everyone who plays video games are going to react to certain games differently than others. Some might get used to a certain control scheme pretty easily, some take more time than others, and some just flat out can't get a grasp for the control scheme in the first place. So in other words, you're a judgmental prick.
The game's story is the same as the Lost World for the Wii U, but the cutscenes are so bad. The quality, it's crap.
Actually, from what I've seen, the cutscenes actually look pretty damn good on a 3DS. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, just keep in mind he mentioned that. We'll go back to that later.
I cannot watch through that quality, so I just try and skip it. This game is horrible. The only good thing it has for it is that the first 2 worlds are good. The rest of the worlds, they're horrible.
And do you plan to elaborate on that statement?
Okay, you're half right with that statement, because while I would agree that he could have gave us more detail as to why the worlds specifically are bad, but he did say the controls are slippery in certain stages and said the game was hard, and that in some way can contribute as to why he felt the other worlds are bad. But I can see where you're coming with that.
This game, the graphics are horrible.
Oh god, we've got a graphics whore now. But in all seriousness, it's a third-party game from the 3DS. What did you expect?
Just because he said the graphics are bad one time does not make him a graphics whore. He would have had to constantly complain about them. Also, you say the graphics are bad because the game's third party? Okay, try telling that to the people who praise games like Animal Crossing, Resident Evil Revelations, Super Street Fighter 3D, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for their graphical presentation. Shows what you know about third party games.
Sometimes it looks good, but most of the time it's horrible. Even for a 3DS game. I've seen better games that look better, like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time 3D.
Yes, but that's a first-party title made by the creators of the console.
Please refer to what I just said. You're welcome.
Which in my opinion is the best looking 3DS game.
Again, that's first party.
Okay, what was the point of repeating what you already said?
One of the best games on the 3DS. Nope. They were dead wrong. And it was the worst game I ever played in my entire life.
Bitch, please. There's far more worse games out there.
He said it was the worst game he ever played, not that it was the worst game ever made.
I think this game might be the hardest 3DS game. Also the hardest game to play and complete. Anyone that's complete this, oh my gosh, you are amazing, because I cannot complete this ever.
We're using the same media clip used in the beginning of the video? Geez, sure as how much effort you actually put into this shit. Oh, and also, he wasn't fucking whining!
And I'm not going to, because I'm going to sell this, because it's the worst freaking game of all time.
Hey, remember that statement you made earlier in the video?
Actually, from what I've seen, the cutscenes actually look pretty damn good on the 3DS. But that's just my opinion.
Because you surely aren't respecting his right now. I'm so glad to see your double standards are showing.
So if I had to give this game a rating out of 1 to 5, I'll give it a 1. Only the 1 is for the multiplayer. And also the music. The music's actually pretty good. If it's not crap sometimes.
But earlier you said the first two worlds were good.
Ah, but he never mentioned the music during that part of the video, now did he? And that's it for this commentary. Now get out of my face.
This is going to be a rant on somebody that is old news, and please, don't bash in the comment section saying, step A-legging, Guptill. This is just the only video that I'm going to do of Guptill89. Guptill89 is this idiot who hates on technology, hates how everything changes, and he hates logo changes. I can understand if he was talking about the new Nickelodeon logo. That one sucks. This dude made a top 10 list of some so-called hottest Sonic females. Not only is he a fur fag, he's a fur fag, a Sonic fag, a plant fag, and a pedophile. Well, that just sums him up.
Don't you think you're a bit too late to the party rant, kid? Because last I checked, we're in late 2014. Guptill89 was the attention of the commentary community back in 2011 to early to mid 2012. Which leads me to my next point. Everything you said in this video has already been beaten to death by almost every commentator making commentaries at the time he was still relevant. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind people bringing up new things about certain users, but the issue here is that there's nothing new left to talk about with Guptill, making him a dead topic, making your video pretty much a copy and paste. Second of all, you might not want to tell people not to quote bash you in the comment section because people have every right to criticize your video and it just implies you might not be welcome to criticism. Also, it doesn't matter if you make one or more videos on him, it still doesn't change the fact that you're beating a dead horse skeleton. Third, the Nickelodeon example you provided was not a good example because when Guptill was complaining about the logos, he was pointing out how it might confuse people by not putting the name of the brand next to the logo, which Nickelodeon clearly does because the name of the channel is the logo. So I highly doubt Guptill would have complained about it anyway. Now, before I end this video, I just wanted to briefly bring something up that I might get some flack for saying, but I just want to put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, about this controversy. To be quite honest, I don't think Guptill really deserved all the shit he got for his top 10 hottest female Sonic characters list video. There, I said it. But let me just explain why I feel this way. I think Guptill's video was taken way too out of context in the aspect that people were calling him a pedophile. I mean, I can see why people would call him a Sonic fag or a furry, but a pedophile, no. Just because you call a character hot, that shouldn't automatically make people assume that, oh, like, he wants to do sexual type things with these characters. He wants to have sex with them. He wants to grope them. Like, no. Like, why do people have to make these baseless assumptions about this guy? Because I don't truly think that this guy is really like that in the real world. Because you don't truly know what this guy is like in the real world. Hey folks, this is BlueFlame3500, and I figured that I'd do a quick commentary today on ThatKidDouglas' quickie on Paula Deen's Frankenstein Burger Hybrid. And you can all thank Dark Agumon for requesting me this video to me the other night. Seriously, what's what you finding great videos to do commentaries on, Agumon?
So today I have the misfortune of watching Paula Deen making a donut burger hybrid, and I'm not looking forward to this. I've watched this video 4 to 5 times already, and if you thought Sandra Lee was bad, you've seen nothing yet. It's bad enough that she's a racist, it's even worse that she's made this Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde creation.
Even though she never makes a single racist remark in your video, you're the second person I've commented on that's misused a simple word that most people know the meaning of by heart. I mean, unless you were referring to the racial controversy that surrounded Paula back in mid-2013, which still doesn't help your argument because that's so irrelevant to the video, it's not even funny.
Just a bacon. And, yeah, just put all that crap right on there. It just, this is a gift from hell. This is awful. Like, why would anybody want to eat this crap? Like, seriously. You will die if you eat this. You will die.
Yeah, I think you're exaggerating a bit too much there, pal, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have a heart attack just from eating one burger, let alone a burger with glazed donuts as buns. I get that it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but I think just having one is okay.
And now, she's smiling now. This is absolutely wonderful.
Because apparently smiling is the sin of the world.
Crazy mind. Why? Oh, she's licking it now. Oh.
No, she was licking her finger, not the donut itself. Besides, why do you even care? I can't even understand why that bothers you so much. I can't even see that as a minor complaint.
Oh, God. And she's giving it to the black woman to eat. I'm Paula Deen, the world's biggest racist.
So going by what you just said, apparently letting a black person have the first bite of a burger that was prepared for her and Paula's enjoyment is fucking racist. I'm getting syphilis from watching this. Anyway, folks, that's all I wanted to bring up, as the rest of the video is him pretty much repeating himself, plus an obnoxiously long outro. Okay, this isn't going to be a very long video, so just a heads up. The user I'm tackling is called SkyifDX. He did a commentary on an extremely old and dead topic that people haven't given any attention to in years. Case in point, a commentary on Christian. Whatever.
Hello, this is me, Skyif the Wolf, and I'm here to do a commentary. This will be my first one, and I decided to do this one on Christian was the Chandler. And I know he's old news, but, you know, I kind of just want to catch up and do all that cool stuff.
Because, you know, that dead horse isn't going to beat itself, am I right? Now, for those who are curious on how old the video he's commentating on is, voila, March 2010. Come on, DX, was it really that hard to find a video on somebody people haven't heard from a million times before? Or for the fact of that matter, a video that's a lot more recent? Also, for people who actually know anything about Chris Chan, because DX gave absolutely zero background information of the user he was covering, he literally brings nothing new to the table about this guy. Great copy and paste you got there, buddy. Now, I'm going to skip the first part of his video because for the most part, it's a no-you argument, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
You have no right taking it from me like that, you womanizing rapist.
Oh my god, you're gonna call him a rapist, even though you only want a girlfriend and to get married so that you can bang her or like sex with her. You're gonna call him a rapist?
Here's a real big problem with your video, and I'm just going to pretend for a second that I'm someone watching your video who has no idea who Chris Chan is, which is a good majority of your audience. What the hell are you even talking about? You see, Skyif, it would have been a great idea if you actually took the time to give your viewers some sort of background info of Chris Chan, because, for one, it makes your points very fucking confusing for those who, once again, have no idea who the guy is. And two, it just screams laziness, because why should it be my job, the person watching your video, have to manually look this guy up? It's your job, the person critiquing the person's video, who should be telling us this.
And if you go near her again, and I will find you,
What are you gonna do? Go over there and knock him down or hit him? I don't even think you can hit him because I'm pretty sure you can go kick your butt. You're so fat, no beast.
Another no you argument. Good job, sir. You just earned the paddle. Now come here.
I will find you. I will cut you up. I'll beat you up. I'll knock you on your backside, stand on your gut like a log roller, and roll your fat right through your skull.
I'd like to see you try.
Gotcha, bitch! Throwing it wide open. Cause that's what you deserve, you goddamn womanizing, raping, trolling, stupid, pickle-suited nigger.
That's I will kill you. Quick stop up. Reason why I said I'd kill you because I'm black. And he was just racist. Now I know what everybody means by he's racist.
But weren't you being just as racist by saying the reason I said I'd kill you is because I'm black? Gotta love the hypocrisy, don't you? Well, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Again, I apologize if this was very short. I promise I will upload other content very soon to this channel.
Hey guys, this is Eddy925 here, and today I'm doing my first commentary. So today, I'm gonna be commentating on Mariotehplumber, on his Sonic Adventure. Oh.
I object that!
Hey Swagge, what are you doing?
Can't stand watching this guy's stuff. Why not join in a freaking commentary freaking bashing this shit?
Okay, so looks like me and Swagge will be teaming up on this review. It's not really a review, he just won't shut the fuck up when he keeps on going, fuck!
Anyway,
so it's a rage.
Let's begin.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm gonna be short and sweet about this because after watching most of this commentary, I'm pretty much seen everything. Okay, first off, your video quality is not that good. I recommend using a video capturing program to get your footage and audio, or at the very least download the video. Second, the video you're commentating on is an extremely old video that's been deleted for a while now, and on a troll who's pretty much a lost cause at this point, Mariotehplumber. Which leads me to my next point. Mariotehplumber does these little videos of his that get a rise out of people. He knows that people are going to hate him for it. He knows he's acting like a moron. And he sure as hell knows people like the two of you will easily fall for his trolling. So, if you honestly thought you were going to bash this guy with legit criticism, well go ahead and hit yourselves in the face. Because, to be honest, most of the video, all you were doing was making a bunch of tasteless jokes that doesn't really impact the commentary whatsoever. As a matter of fact...
Again. English. This is fucking game. Faggot? Is that like a freaking French way to say something? Like a food or anything? Like, faggot?
What school did you go to? Man, are you shouting in your microphone while drunk?
And there's a shit ton more. Also, even when you weren't making jokes, most of the things you both said can be summarized as, stop shouting fuck so much. You should have done that. Why are you doing that? Okay, conclusion. Today, I'm going to be doing a commentary on a user who did a rant on why they hate school. And before I actually get into the actual commentary, I need to say this right now because this could possibly happen if I don't say this considering the large fan base this user has and type of persona this guy portrays himself as in general. This commentary is not meant to be a personal attack against you, and anything I say that might possibly offend you should not be taken seriously, as the way I go about myself in my videos is to entertain my audience. With that said, it's commentary time.
So all of high school, I've had really bad grades, and that's mainly because I really kind of stopped caring. Like, it got to the point where, you go to school for 7 hours a day, right? That's 7 hours out of my fucking day that I'm sitting in a place where I'm bored. I'm annoyed with all the fucking retards, like teachers, and just if you went to my school, you know.
Well, like you said, you stopped caring about how well you did when it came to your grades, so the fact that you're bringing up how bored you are when in school and talking negatively about your teachers and calling them retards when it's damn well your fault for your poor performance academically doesn't surprise me.
And then we have homework. Why the fuck is homework a thing? Okay? I'm not gonna go to school for 7 hours a day and then go home and do more fucking work, alright? I have better things to do with my time than sit there and do homework. That's why I don't fucking do homework, okay?
Have you ever considered doing some of your homework during school hours when you have any available free time? Because doing so can limit the amount of work you have to do when at home, gives you extra free time, and in general is a great usage of your time, which is a benefit to doing homework, which leads me to my second point. Homework is a thing because homework can do you a world of good in the long run, even past your high school graduation, as it can develop your overall thinking and memory. It promotes you to use helpful resources like reference materials, libraries, websites, and etc. It's a great review and practice of what you learned that particular day in class, which helps prepare you for the next day in class. And the list of these benefits go on. Link will be provided down below to the source that I used.
If I do homework, it's in class right before I have to hand it in, and that's kind of how I do things.
Which is a perfect example of not using your time wisely. Why cram the day of your assignment is due and risk getting a half-ass grade for the assignment when you had time the day before to get it done and not run the risk? That is a very unhealthy habit you got there, and I recommend you reevaluate that.
I'm not going to tell you guys how to do, what to do, to do things. With certain topics I will, but when it comes to school, you do you, alright? Like, if you like school, then go ahead and do all the shit you want to do, but if not, then you don't have to. But there are repercussions, which I have come across. The said repercussions are bad grades, and like I've said, throughout high school, I really have not cared, and I've always had shitty grades, but I've always actually, like, in the last quarter, I've always somehow, like, clutched it and passed the year with just, like, barely passing or whatever. The last, like, 2 or 3 months, I got craziness. One thing after another keeps happening, and then, those things are semi-sorted out, and my grades are shit, and I actually, I stayed after with my math teacher because my math grade was pretty bad. And it's trigonometry, like, I don't understand that as it is, right? And, she went over stuff with me, and I actually felt, pretty decent. I was like, alright, I have a good feeling about this test. I get a 64 on it. And she even put random grades in that I didn't even do. Like, she put homework grades in as 100% that I didn't even do, and I still am failing by 4 fucking points. And I honestly have no clue what I'm supposed to do right now, because I want, or no, 5 points actually, because 65 is passing. Like, my overall grade is a 60.
Well, most likely it's because your poor grades outweigh your good grades. I mean, if you have a large amount of bad grades that include some heavily weighted grades like your math test, for example, and you never do your homework and only rely on those positive homework grades, which to my knowledge of being in high school are not as heavily weighted, then yes, you getting a bad overall grade should be expected. Hey, don't look at me, you're the one who said that you wait until the end of the quarter to start somewhat actually giving a shit about your grade.
But my English grade, well, it was passing. Like, it was doing shitty, and then I worked hard. I did every single homework assignment, and I got like 100 on every quiz. I may have cheated a few times, and it was gonna pass. But for some reason, she put fucking 2 grades in as a 0. Mind you, I've had this bitch for 2 fucking years. All right, I hate her. Everyone hates her. I'm getting annoyed. I'm literally dying just because she's pissing me off even after I'm not in school right now. But no, she puts in an essay that I did. All right, it wasn't to standard. Like, I kind of didn't do the project presentation, but I did the essay and the other part to it. And I handed those in, and it was like a couple days late because I was out the week before. I was sick or something the week before. And I remember I said to her, I was out, can I still hand this in? I want to get a good grade. And she said, yes, you can hand it in if you were out. And I was like, alright, so I handed it to her, and this is back in April. And just now she puts the grade in, and it's the 13th of June. And she puts it in as a 0 for both of them. And she wrote, handed in late, or something like that, and I was, this is retarded, because that literally brought my 62, it would have been passing when I do the test. No, it goes down from a 62 to a 50 fucking 4. So now, I can literally get 100 on this test, and I still will fucking fail the year. So I have to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do there. I have to email her and be like, alright, I will literally take like a 50 on both of those assignments, because with the 50, I could still pass the year.
You do know that instead of emailing your teacher begging her to give you a better grade in your assignments, how about you, I don't know, actually remind her that you got a 0 on both the assignments that you clearly handed in to her, and remind her that you were out those specific days and whom allowed you to hand it in late because of it. With all that said, I'm finished with the commentary, as he says nothing else important past this. I'm fully aware that the Fiery Henry already made a one-shot video on this already, but however, there is one thing that he forgot to point out that I was originally going to point out with my own one-shot on this video, which, by the way, Henry, thanks a lot, you stole my one-shot material. And to save time, I'm just going to skip to the part to where Silver makes his statement.
You do realize phone downloaders don't let you download YouTube videos due to copyright reasons, right? Well, how do I know this? I have a video download on my phone, and I used to have plenty of other ones, and not a single one of them would let me download videos from YouTube.
First of all, Silver, you never tell us what these downloaders are that you use that wouldn't allow you to download videos from YouTube, therefore leaving your audience completely confused on what downloaders you're referring to. Second of all, I actually researched this to see if this was true or not, and actually found apps like Video Downloader Lite Super V-Download and Video Download Browser for smartphones that allow you to successfully download videos from YouTube even despite copyright. And if that doesn't convince you enough, there's even an app for Android called TubeMate that allows you to do the exact same thing. So I was browsing YouTube recently, looking for commentary material, and I came across a user who recently started to get into commentaries. This user goes by the name of Scoot69VGCP. So I decided to look at his channel to see what kind of content he makes before he started doing commentaries. And I was quite surprised. A rant video on Gligar, 4 joke videos on Gligar, rant videos using the annoying program Speakonia against other troll accounts. Yeah, when you consider the type of content this guy has made, am I really expecting his commentaries to be any different? What do I know? Let's actually watch one of his commentaries.
Now, the person we are doing today is Mark Nazaro. Yeah, that's a weird name, but anyways. Basically, he is a Gligar 13 vids fanboy who tries to imitate him and makes him look like Angry Joe compared to his videos.
Or, in translation, he's a troll.
Let's get started. Now, the video we're actually doing is his Super Mario Brothers for the NES review. So, let's get started with this, shall we?
Hey, I just wanted to review...
Only a few seconds into the video and already there is a problem.
Ah, the few seconds in cliche. Lovely.
Your video quality is crap. Have you ever considered using a capture card? Oh wait, I am assuming you do not even know what a capture card is because you never do research, being a troll, obviously.
Which sort of begs the question, why did you make this video to begin with if you knew the individual in question was trolling? Hell, I could say that about your entire channel. Scoot, when you commentate on troll videos, your video doesn't really have any substance to it because trolls aren't going to take in what you have to say because telling them that they have flaws or that they are wrong is the sort of reaction they want. Or in other words, you're giving them unneeded attention.
But anyways, moving on.
One of the shittiest games I've ever played. Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo.
Now, I have looked at his Donkey Kong review, and I can tell that he is a huge Atari fanboy, so you can tell that this video is going to be extremely biased.
Keep in mind that he says that, folks, because this is going to come up later on.
It wasn't really worth it because the controls are laggy. You'll think your controller is busted, honestly. And, yeah, the graphics are nothing to write home about. They're not very impressive at all.
Seriously, dude, you're complaining about the graphics on an NES game? Facepalm. Double facepalm to be more precise.
So let's see, the few seconds in cliche in the beginning of the video, the overused audio clip, and the overused facepalm reaction. How cliche can one person be? Also, by the way, just because it's an NES game or an 8-bit game, doesn't mean you can't criticize the game's graphics.
The music, I have it turned off, partially so you can hear me, and partially for my own sanity.
Dude, how could music in a...
Patience, bro. Let the guy finish.
Because it's just... it's generic 8-bit crap.
You see, that is why you don't cut someone off in mid-sentence.
It's generic 8-bit crap.
Dude, the music in this game is classic. You need to just... pardon me if I sound like a fanboy here, but you just need to get taste in music here.
Earlier in the video...
Now, I have looked at his Donkey Kong review, and I can tell that he is a huge Atari fanboy, so you can tell that this video is going to be extremely biased.
I find it funny how you find him to be an Atari fanboy for liking Atari more than Nintendo because you say it makes his videos sound biased. Yet it's completely okay for you to act like a Nintendo fanboy by throwing his opinion about the music in Super Mario Brothers out the window and saying the music is classic. How the hell is that not considered hypocritical?
There's better video game soundtracks, but yeah. Most of the better ones from this era were on the Commodore 64, Atari 7800.
In your opinion, not mine.
Wait, so now you decide to treat it like it's his opinion? Why didn't you do that earlier?
Death right there, boy. This thing, I have to laugh just because I'm so disgusted that I just want to hurl the controller at the TV. But I like my TV, at least more than I like this shitty game.
You like your TV more than you like the shitty game, in quotation marks. What kind of sense does that make?
That makes perfect sense, you pleb. He likes his TV more than he likes the game, and would rather not throw his controller at it.
And the music is way better. The only good thing that came out of Super Mario Brothers, like as a whole, was the movie.
I'm done. I'm done!
You know, I honestly don't mind when people make this type of joke in their videos, but when it's as poorly executed like that, I honestly don't find it funny. Now, since there really isn't anything else I can really say about his video, I'm just gonna end the video right here. You know, I haven't done a one-shot in a very long time. I think I'll do one.
What an interesting sight you are. So many good things have come out of this, yet for every blockbuster critic and cartoon hangover, there's an irate gamer and Smosh cartoons on the opposite spectrum.
Oh, thank God the irate gamer is in no way a dead topic.
What does me mentioning the irate gamer have to do with anything?
The irate gamer is a dead topic. Therefore, he is no longer relevant, so there's no point in mentioning him.
He still seems to be making videos, so of course he's not a dead topic.
So going by what you just said, if a user is still making videos present day, but has been considered dead for 4 to 5 years by a majority of a community, then that means that they aren't considered dead? Well, by that logic, I guess that means Gligar, Mariotehplumber, Shadvik, Onision, and IGN were as relevant as 2014. You see how dumb that logic is? Now, today's user we'll be looking at is a user named TrackMania Studios and his video on Sammy Classic Sonic Fan. Now, before everyone starts jumping to conclusions, allow me to make this clear. Yes, I'm fully aware that this is the third video that actually involves me talking about Sammy Classic Sonic Fan. The first one was a rant video, the second one was a short segment of a one-shot commentary by Future Blood, but this one is now an actual full-length commentary. Yes, it is a coincidence, and nothing else of that. So, let's not waste any more time and get right into it.
Sammy, there is no need for such a long intro. It's even longer than my intro. 30 minutes long. Holy crap.
Unless you're seeing something that I'm clearly not, I actually looked at the original video, and his intro is nowhere near 3 minutes long. More like 28 seconds. You know, I really hate it when people like you decide to just speed up footage instead of just skipping certain sections completely, because really, it's just a waste of your audience's time when you can just get right into the video.
As you all know, I really love my Nintendo.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
I actually hope to work for them when I grow up.
Which would probably mean the end of the world for all of us.
Because apparently unnecessary insults was the trend in late 2014, LOL.
Okay, so, like classic games! What do you guys have against classic games? I have all these people, they come to me saying to grow out of these classic games. Oh, so what? I must absolutely go wrong with these classic games. I must absolutely grow out of them because they're from the past and they don't matter anymore. No!
They are trolls. Ignore trolls. Do not feed them.
Huh. Interesting that you bring that up, because you know who acknowledges this? Sammy.
I must say thank you. Thank you for supporting me when I have all these trolls.
Also, I love how you bring up how he shouldn't feed trolls, because that's pretty much what you did this entire video.
Thank you. And, must I say, I'm glad some people out there actually have the taste in gaming like me. Okay, but then we have all these modern gamers.
And technically, you are a modern gamer. That game you have on your table, that's a modern game.
Sammy was talking about modern gamers who strictly play modern games and nothing else, because unless you were living under a rock for the first few minutes of the video, Sammy not only told people to respect classic games, but even thanked people for having, quote, a taste in gaming like me. See, unlike you, I actually pay attention to detail.
Flooding the internet with their freaking hypocrite opinions.
If you don't even know what the word is, then please don't use it.
When a man gives his opinion, he's a man. When a woman gives her opinion, she's a bitch. Oh yeah, opinions can't be hypocritical, apparently.
Saying, oh, have you played Call of Duty freaking Ghosts for the Xbox One?
People need to know that when this video was made, the Xbox One wasn't even out yet.
It doesn't matter if Call of Duty Ghosts was or wasn't out for the Xbox One at the time he made this video, because riddle me this, good sir. What is Call of Duty Ghosts? Alright, a modern game.
Which will be a huge flop, as we all know.
To a certain extent, I agree with Sammy, the classic Sonic fan here. Call of Duty is a terrible franchise.
Great, now you're pulling the stopping the video just to agree with somebody cliche.
And you know why I like Nintendo so much? Because they have platformers.
Sony and Microsoft also have platformers.
True, but when you look at the amount of platformer titles that the Wii U has next to the current Microsoft and Sony consoles, which are the Xbox One and PS4, the Wii U console actually has 14 more platformers than both the Xbox One and PS4 combined. And to prove this point, a link will be provided in the description to where I found this. Plus, another thing you have to consider is that Nintendo has its own brand name franchises that Microsoft and Sony has never been able to acquire for their consoles since the two companies have been creating consoles. Most specifically, Mario and Donkey Kong.
Amazing platforms, specifically Mario. Mario's the king of platforming, and that's why I love him.
Yeah, about that. Last time I checked, Little Big Planet was the king of platforming, with over 10 million levels created.
He was referring to how iconic he was. You really don't listen, do you?
Nintendo so much. And I also love Nintendo for Zelda. I also love other franchises too, because they always know what to give us. They always know how to please their fans.
And so does everything else.
Examples? Come on, TrackMania, you can't just leave something at that and just expect me to know what the hell you're talking about.
Don't! Look, I'm sorry. I agree with some of you guys' opinions on my videos. I sort of agree with you on the stop criticizing Wii U video. I suppose I was a little bit harsh towards Sony and Microsoft, and I'm sorry about that! Okay, I don't completely hate them. They still have some good games on their systems, like Rayman Origins and Sonic games and Little Big Planet.
The list goes on and on. Now am I right, people?
And Fez. What? That's not enough!
For you, it's never enough.
No you. No you. No you.
We have all these FPS! Revolutionizing gaming. No!
I'm pretty sure a game in the late 1980s revolutionized gaming.
Don't you just love it when people love stating the obvious? Now, the reason why I'm saying that you're stating the obvious is because that's practically the message that Sammy's been trying to get across throughout the entire video.
Not revolutionary. Why do you think Nintendo still makes consoles? Because they know how to make amazing games.
No, it's because Nintendo is a filthy rich company. Also, their consoles are crappy. Graphics-wise.
Just because a video game company has a lot of money does not mean that every video game they release is going to fully please everybody. A good example of this would be Electronic Arts / EA, who had a gross profit of $2.64 billion in 2013, which was when Sammy's video was made, and you had a lot of complaints from users who purchased titles like SimCity for having basic features disabled and a lack of options in both the single and multiplayer side. and Battlefield 4 because of it being rushed out the door despite having apparent major issues with its multiplayer, like severe glitches, constant server crashes, and just basic server problems in general, making the overall experience unplayable for the player. Also, gee, it's not like you saying that the Wii U is crappy graphics-wise as your opinion or something, which is something that you got on Sammy's case for earlier in the video.
Platformers are the best genre in gaming.
And that is an opinion. See, you need to learn about opinions.
New Super Mario Bros. U, tell me that this is a bad game. Tell me! Say to me, New Super Mario Bros. U is a terrible game because it's from Nintendo, so that means it's a terrible game.
Okay, if you insist. Super Mario Bros. Wii U is a terrible game because it's from Nintendo, which means that it's a terrible game.
Okay, I know I've used this media clip in one of my other videos, but goddamn it fits this situation so well.
Oh noes, a pointless statement.
Love you, hero. And this is where I'm gonna end off the commentary. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and peace out.
Hey motherfuckers, this is Donwalk3 back, and now it's commentary time again. So this commentary is on Evil Sheldon 3's Let's Play the Ship video. So there's Evil Sheldon 3.
God damn it!
Great, as if one Dish by Cat fan wasn't enough, we are commentating on another one. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, he is a fan of his freaking AGK style videos, and he makes gaming videos. This one I just saw, and what do I think of it? Well, that's what we are gonna find out today. So without further ado, let's start this commentary now.
Okay, let me be clear about something, Dum Dum Rocks 3. This was probs the most lazy, unoriginal, and probs one of the worst commentaries I've seen recently, and for good reasons. 1. Your arguments in this video can be pretty much summed up as, you're not funny, and, oh my god, you're so boring, And why do I say that? Because you repeat the same fucking points over and over and over again. And to add further insult to the injury, you kept using an overused media clip after overused media clip after overused media clip.
You need to shut the fuck up! It's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny! It's not funny!
That's not funny, you sick fuck.
This isn't funny! Wrong, 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 wrong.
No! No!
No, God, please, no!
3. You get on Evil Sheldon's case for being unfunny when you were just as unfunny being so unoriginal in your video. Dum Dum Rocks, if you're going to make a commentary, then you need to put in the effort to make at least somewhat solid arguments to refute what the individual says instead of acting like a complete ass, repeating the same damn points. Now, I know that people consider my commentaries decent at best, but at least I put in the effort to make my video enjoyable and informative for other people to watch. Your video was anything but that, which is more than likely the big reason why you're getting so many dislikes on your video. Now, before I start this commentary, I'd just like to once again give a big thanks to Dirtbike Redden for giving me a shout out the other day on his most recent commentary on Irrational Ryan, which I must say was a very well done commentary. If you guys want to go check it out, link to his channel will be in the description. So today's commentary is on MugenLazlo's commentary on Blue Core Gaming's rant on Sonic Boom. Now, just like the last commentary I did, I found a pretty glaring issue before I actually got into the actual commentary part of the video, and that's the fact that this individual decided to block ratings and comments for the video. It's funny because every other video this guy has made besides his two commentaries do not have these two things disabled. I'm sorry, but I really hate it when commentators do that because how the hell are you going to improve if you don't let people give their words of advice on your video if there are things wrong with it? All I can say is, please don't disable ratings and comments on your videos, Lazlo, because it really shows that you don't want to be criticized. And now for the video.
Hey guys, it's me, Steven, and welcome to another episode of Steven Commentaries. Now, last week, I made a commentary on a terrible commentary. This week, I'm going to do a commentary on something that's worse. Today, I'm going to be doing a commentary on a Sonic Boom rant.
In case you were blind.
For those of you who didn't notice, there will be a new Sonic cartoon coming out this fall called Sonic Boom. It'll premiere on Cartoon Network sometime in the fall of 2014.
This might be a nitpick, but it's funny that you bring this up, even though the exact same thing you just said was addressed in the beginning of Blue Core's video. This is why you pre-plan your videos.
Now, when I was a kid back in the day, I didn't really watch a lot of the Sonic cartoons. I remember seeing a couple Sonic cartoons when I was a kid. Like, I remember seeing this Sonic movie, I remember going to this old movie store called Mr. Video, and I rented a Sonic anime movie, something like that. And I also remember playing a few Sonic games when I was a kid as well. My favorite Sonic game was Sonic Advance for the Game Boy Advance back in 2002. That game was awesome.
Though I would have to ask, why are you bringing up video games in a rant about an animated show soon to be released? I mean, if he was ranting about the video game, it would have made more sense to bring it up, but since it's not, it's kind of irrelevant.
But anyways, enough of that. Let's begin this commentary, shall we?
So what, he's gonna burn me with flamethrowers or something? Would you watch this?
Hell yeah.
Oh, Sega. Hello, everyone. I'm Blue Core, and we're gonna break down Sonic Boom. Just as a heads up, if you like this, if you agree with these new changes, you need to leave now.
Just because you tell the fans to leave doesn't mean they're gonna leave, okay? So shut up.
He was implying that if you for the most part favor Sonic Boom, then you might not agree with what he says in the video, if you wanted to watch the video in the first place. Also, was it really necessary to tell him to shut up? I mean, it's not like he was doing anything wrong in that segment. Seriously, it makes you sound whiny.
Sonic Boom is the new CGI TV series scheduled in fall of 2014. It's a comedy show that's aimed towards children.
No surprise, Sherlock.
What's wrong with him informing his viewers that the show's aimed towards children? You're making it sound like that the millions of fans who've heard of Sonic Boom already know by heart the show's aimed towards a younger demographic. I'm serious, you sound like you're trying to find reasons to get on this kid's case.
First of all, what is with this alienating of older people?
They're not alienating. They're making new designs.
True, but you're missing the entire picture. The Sonic that originated in Japan, as most people call modern Sonic, is intended for the more older gamers who have been with the series since the beginning. And Sonic Boom is for mostly newcomers into the series with a big emphasis on comedy. Just because you're a kid and are a fan of the Sonic series, that doesn't mean you have to stay away from Sonic Boom. People might actually find it entertaining. So nobody is being quote-unquote alienated.
So the trailer starts in the middle of nowhere. Sonic is chasing down Eggman like normal. And I have to say, this is the one of two parts that Sonic was like this. We only get to see the back of them, but it's not long until we really see how these characters are like. Eggman! You know my name is Dr. Eggman! You do that on purpose! Do what, Egghead? Why couldn't they use the Generations model?
Because not every Sonic TV show has to use the Sonic Generations models. You moron.
And there you go again, insulting him like a 5-year-old. I'm starting to see a pattern.
If you are going to make anything 3D-wise with Sonic, please use the game models.
Shut up.
Hey guys, I just told him to shut up. Am I cool yet?
Voice acting. All I have to say is, it's Sonic colors. That's it. That's what it's like. Sonic colors. Then we get to the part when he almost falls off the cliff. A part of me really wanted Sonic. Though, didn't it kind of feel like the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog? It's a comedy, so I don't know.
Well, I've never seen The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, so I don't really care.
Well, if you didn't care, then why did you bother to interject in the first place?
Clawbot, or the Lacerator, or Ninjatron 9000, but Burnbot. I mean, that's just false advertising. Are we really going back to Sonic Color styles of jokes?
Yup.
Okay, this goes back to what I said about you pointlessly stopping the video just to say you didn't care about what he said. Because now you're interrupting the video just to agree with what he said. Have you actually considered being a commentator? From now on, for the rest of the video, if he insults, agrees with what he says, and makes pointless statements, I will be keeping tally to the right of the video.
Really? So after all this pointless dialogue,
The dialogue is not pointless. It's meant to be a joke. Dude, get a life. Would you?
Says the guy who's been insulting him the entire video for no fucking reason.
An epic speed match between Sonic and Cutburn Bot whatever. And around this part is when we're introduced to Tails. Now Tails is not that bad, though I feel him as a support character, so no surprise.
Thanks, Tails. Initiate speeding swing surprise.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Speeding swing surprise. Oh yeah, it's bad.
Real mature.
I don't know if I should be angry or scared. This is ridiculous.
Ridiculous my ass.
So you're not even going to attempt to elaborate on that? Well, okay, it's your loss because, you know, usually when people say something like that, usually they would want to back themselves up so people don't think you're just bullshitting.
Now, the slow-mo part is not that bad. Sonic does his usual stuff. Hits the robot and everybody's happy. Until the robot chips Tails' plane, and magically down he goes. Now, I made a failed flight school, but I'm sure if that ever happened, the whole plane would have not came crashing down. And what does Tails do? What was that? No scream for help? Just looks at the camera holding his metal rod?
Yeah.
You know, I would say you both misunderstood the point of that segment, but I'm only focused on you. The joke was that Sonic told Tails to bail from the plane, but the issue was Tails had no real way of exiting the plane, resorting to him using the only thing he had with him, aka the metal rod, which isn't useful in the slightest. You see, this is why common sense is so great. And I'm ending the commentary here. You know, in the original video there's actually 5 minutes left, but to my surprise, I decided to cut it out. And why, do you may ask? Because it's pretty much the same bullcrap you guys have already encountered already. He barely makes any solid points, which even then doesn't say much because a handful of them he never backed himself up. He kept making one-word responses that doesn't debunk anything Blue Core says. He kept insulting the guy like a 5-year-old, and to top it all off, he kept repeating the same bullcrap over and over and over again. All you need to know is that I'm doing a commentary on Flippy Invader, and I'm using Deadpool as my avatar. So let's start.
Of course, it was made by LJN. Made by LJN. You know, it's something everyone's always trying to correct me about. LJN was not a game developer, they were a publisher that contracted other companies to develop the games. I know that, but that doesn't change the fact that every time this logo appears on a game, it's guaranteed to be ass. If LJN published it, they still made it. It's an LJN game.
James, the definition of a video game publisher is the people that are responsible for their product's manufacturing and marketing, including marketing, research, and aspects of advertising. So no, technically they didn't make the game.
What was the point of that? Didn't James get through explaining that it was something that people were constantly trying to correct him about? So why did you feel the need to? By the way, the second part of James's statement was supposed to be a joke.
Well, I have to say, I like that you play as Beetlejuice, the goofy ghoul himself, and not one of the main human characters of the movie.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
He wasn't stating the obvious, Flippy. He was just saying he was glad you got to play as the main character and not one of the side characters. Please pay attention.
You can't do anything in this game without being flung all over the place. We need a name for this. We'll call it simply bouncing bullshit.
For you first-time AVGN viewers, he did a similar joke like this in his Kid Cool review, where he basically gave a nickname to every flaw in the game and inserted a swear word in its title. Now, back then it was funny because it was the first time he ever did it, but as of now, it's now funny because 1, it's already been done, and 2, have you ever noticed that the swearing is just becoming less and less funny and more immature? Yeah, for as long as the AVGN's been around for like, what, 4 or 5 years now, the swearing just gets more and more immature as he gets older.
Okay, number 1. Humor is subjective. Just because you find AVGN reusing a joke from the past not funny, doesn't mean someone else won't. Number 2. AVGN is a character. Why do you care whether or not he acts immature in his videos or doesn't? Also, on a side note, was it really that hard to look up how long AVGN has been making videos? He's been around for 12 years, not 4 nor 5.
I think the game has more to do with the star than the movie. I mean the star in the sky, the real Beetlejuice. It's a red supergiant that's going to explode one day.
James, what the hell are you doing? Why are you going off on a tangent about the star instead of actually talking about the game?
Well, maybe if you didn't cut him off, maybe you would have understood why.
Does that not accurately describe the feeling you get from playing this piece of shit? This particular star is always pulsating. It's so inconsistent that it's sometimes called the 9th brightest star in the sky, but usually the 10th. These fluctuations and inconsistencies are exactly what they were going for with the unpredictable nature of this game.
And that is why you don't leave out important details in your commentaries.
It would be like listening to, I don't know, the soundtrack to Mary Poppins while watching Requiem for a Dream.
James, I don't know if you struggling to find a joke like that was intentional or not. If it wasn't intentional, then why would you deliver a joke like you didn't know what the joke was going to be in the first place? That just kills the humor. If you're going to say a joke, have confidence that you know what it's going to be so the audience can actually laugh instead of acting confused like you did.
He wasn't struggling, nor was he acting confused about the joke he was making, and you would have known that if you didn't cut the part out of the video that gave the joke context.
What kind of horse shit is this? This doesn't set the tone at all. It will be fine for other games. This is something you should hear if you're jumping around blowing bubbles in Magic Fairy Tale Land, not a dark Tim Burton nightmare world.
I'm really starting to question your way of thinking.
In conclusion, I could say the game is ass. It's a steaming pile of goat shit, horrible abomination, but the perfect way to sum it up is it's an LJN game. It doesn't matter who actually developed it.
Why do I get the feeling he put that comment in there because he was secretly pissed off at all the people who kept correcting him on who actually developed the game?
Jokes? The fuck are those?
Well, that's all I have to say on this video. In conclusion, James, either retire the AVGN character or move on to next generation console reviews and make them better. Because it's obviously clear from this review that you're running out of steam.
Bitch, no you! How the hell did no one ever commentate on this video when it got uploaded? Oh well, I guess it's time for me to fill in the gap. I'm going to be skipping ahead about a little over a minute because it takes this guy ages to start the video and there's nothing important I want to bring up. I love how your camera is completely zoomed away from the video. Cameras have the ability to zoom in, you know.
This commentary scene because I love it and love you guys, and I've gotten quite a few different requests. And today's is from A1 CSBob447. Though I must say, Pundersbrock, I am disappointed that you never once said hello once again, this is, or hi to you, and your rapid referencing of different commentators during the intro of your last video. You had room for an your face, because apparently there's always room for Hobbs. That sexy Afro bastard is always one-upping me. Hello, this is the...
You're a riot, Professor!
You know, Slagger hasn't really given any reason to why TOG's commentary is bad yet. All he's done so far is just say how TOG's not funny. Just pointing that out there.
And I'm going to spend another 45 seconds explaining that I'm commentating on Evil Broseph because he's a big meat bully jerk who made fun of me.
And I'm a dumbass who can't summarize something properly.
Were you not paying attention to the commentary just now? Because TOG clearly summarized the next 45 seconds of Orion's video. You know, the fact that Orion rambles on way too much? Seriously, how do you miss a point that was such clear as day?
Even though it is totally disrespected things that are dear to me like science and equality and human rights. And that's why I don't respect right-wing religions such as conservative Christianity itself. However, I know that not all Christians are homophobic bigots, nor are all of them anti-science. And I'm not, quote-unquote, butthurt. I'm tired of people bossing me around and telling me what to do on the internet.
You're not butthurt?
Well, here's a logical question for you. If Orion wasn't, quote, butthurt over Evil Broseph, then why would he have made a 12-minute one-shot over a 45-second video Evil Broseph made of him that was just meant to be a harmless joke, basically to get a rise out of him, if he took it seriously, which he did? Also, you obviously didn't watch the whole video because Orion pulls this little stunt later on.
How dare you call me stupid and say I'm not bright, Evil Broseph! You are a liar! And that is slander! I am very intelligent, highly educated, and how dare you take me for being stupid all because I go into detail! And yet you don't! Funny thing is that one could use your arguments against you. You're disrespecting things that Christians hold dear to their hearts, so wouldn't that just make you the mean bully jerk? And by telling them that they are wrong,
You are telling them what to do. And they might be tired of being told what to do on the internet as well by atheists. But no! It's only a bad thing when the Cloverfield monster is the one who gets the proverbial...
Now, what was that term that Kiara Wave used on his commentaries? Oh yeah, hypocrite!
So you're not going to explain how TOG is being a hypocrite? Seriously, why are people like you so vague?
Up his ass.
And that's what you're doing. And I'm not an idiot. I am very intelligent. And I'm in college.
Wait, you're a what?
You're fat dots and you're in call. What? You're playing Call of Duty? You're playing Magic the Gathering? You're playing calling all cards? You're doing Caligula 2 Wrath of the Sisters? What is it called? What? Coletti Collaborative California, Colorado, Connecticut? I'm just boasting. He's supposed to be saying college, but they're interrupting him for humor.
That's not what TOG was trying to do. The point of him doing that was to explain how Orion cuts himself off before finishing his statement. Again, how do you miss such a basic point?
That's right. You complain. And you know what my answer is to that 12-minute one-shot you did on me? I mean, really? A 12-minute one-shot? Over a 45-second video?
Talk about... I agree with the professor comment. That is total overkill. Oh, for fuck's sake. The extended ending of the Little Stop remake, Little Stop Horse remake, where after the plants kill Rick Moranis and Alan Green and go on a rampage to destroy New York, and they have the extended cut of Don't Feed the Plants padded out from like 1.5 to 2 minutes to 6 minutes. That makes more sense than this shit that this idiot is saying that TGO is commenting on.
Okay. First you accuse TOG of not knowing how to summarize Orion's video, you call TOG a hypocrite, and accuse him of interrupting Orion for humor. And now you're saying what Evil Bros have just said was more informed than anything Orion has said throughout this whole video. I hate to say this, Slagger, but proving TOG correct further hurts your case, my friend.
Stay tuned for part 2, people. It's going to get interesting.
Which he never uploads, folks. So this commentary doesn't really have a real conclusion to it. That's a first-timer. And that, folks, concludes the commentary, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and peace out. Oh, and one more thing before I go. You can't even get the damn title of the video correct.